right. You can tell me if I'm wrong. One thing you'll learn about me very quickly is even though the rest of our society is really not like this, I value your opinion. We can disagree and still be friends. We can go have a beer, or eat a turkey leg or whatever, and we can still hang out. You don't have to agree with the host. I don't think I know everything. Hell, I don't think I know anything. But the reality of it is that I'm going to give you a perspective today, with all due respect to all the great hosts that are on Sactown Sports 1140. I'm going to give you a perspective today that you probably haven't gotten before because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not close with the Kings. I'm not here to rip the Kings. I'm just here to give you reality and kind of take a look around the NBA and say, okay, this is really what they need to do. Because in listening to Sam yesterday, who does an amazing job with The Athletic and has covered the NBA for a lot of years, and what Scott Perry told us, and there's three specific questions that Scott Perry talked about that intrigue me: one good, one bad, and one we'll see. So we'll get into that conversation. So we'll do all those things today. We got some Niners we got to hit, a ton of things to do. I'll give you a guest list, all those things. But you're in your car now. You're shopping for your turkey. You're looking for your stuffing. You're scrambling at the store. You're doing all those kind of things. So thank you for making the time for us today on Sactown Sports. Now, a little bit about me and why you should listen today. I've been covering sports in the NBA for about 30 years. I cannot be more excited, or I could not be more excited to be on the air today. Um, I am nothing if not honest. I was unceremoniously let go at KNBR about a year ago. So KNBR does come into the Sacramento market. I worked with, if you don't know me, I was the annoying guy on the show with Greg Papa for a number of years. First with 95.7 The Game, and we started that station in August of 2011. And of course, Whitey, Mark Kreidler, they were part of the morning show there. So I'm good friends with Whitey. That was what, 2011. Went with over to Tom Tolbert in 2016. Went to KNBR. My old pal Greg Papa came over to KNBR in 2019. We did a show, very successful show there, until about a year ago, 2024, and that was a wrap. So if you do a little bit of math here, I've got a YouTube show and all these different things, and I've been staying busy, and I'm still in the media, and I'm a writer, and all these different things that I've done all through the years. But this is my first show that I've done since that day, in which I go in, I'm driving in that day, just kind of again give you a background on me. I'm driving in that day, and I hear that they're going to let Bay Area legend, former Warrior Tom Tolbert go. And I'm driving in, and I'm on I'm on the Embarcadero going in, and I'm thinking to myself, well, we got good ratings, everything's good, but as business works, it doesn't matter really about the ratings, it matters about the revenue. And so later that day, about 5 minutes to two, I'm doing my show. I'd kind of forgotten about things. I was doing a solo show that day, and then the knock on the door, and they say, "Hey, Jim wants to see you down the hall. Yeah, just before you get out here." And it's a Friday. I'm thinking to myself, yeah, this probably isn't good. So that happens, and there you go. So that's my background. Love that you're here. By the way, if you want to get involved in the show today, a lot of different ways to do it. We're on YouTube, so you can feel better about yourself. I look a little bit like the Elephant Man, so just go to YouTube and check me out at Sactown Sports 1140. You can check us out on X, Sactown 1140, and on the web at sacktownsports.com. 339-1140, 800-912-1140. You'll need those numbers, or you can hit me up on a chat line on YouTube. I don't think they're going to give me any access to any of the real things. I don't have access to the Sactown Sports, X page or anything like that. So you can put those things. I'm at John Lund Radio, so you can hit me up directly on that as well. But I will need you today because, like I said, I'm going to give you an evaluation bottom of the hour on the Kings, and you can either vomit on it or say that dude has a bit of a point. My overall background is, like I said, I've been doing this 30 years. I'm really ecstatic to be in the Sacramento market, not only because it gives me an opportunity to talk about Bay Area sports and replacing the Warriors with the Kings, but also, I started my career in Salt Lake City 30 years ago, the Malone Stockton days. I did cover those series between the Kings and the Jazz, and so that's why I have the respect that I have, because it just, again, to give you a little bit of background on me, at that point, I don't know who the powers that be did this, but I was a young guy, not anymore, but I was a young guy, and I walk in and they say, here's your first assignment. You're going to interview Jerry Sloan after all games. Now, again, for our younger demographic, you may not know who Jerry Sloan is, but he's one of the toughest SOBs to ever play in the NBA. He is direct and honest as anyone comes, and he was the head coach of the Jazz, and he would smoke a cigarette before doing the post-game interview. And at that age, I was told, "Okay, you're on the flagship of the Utah Jazz. You're going to go in there, and with all the other reporters standing around, you're going to do the first interview for 2 or 3 minutes with Jerry Sloan, win, lose, or draw." And he's got this cigarette breath, and it's in my face, and I'm intimidated, and the microphone is shaking, and all those kind of things. The point bringing that up is those were the glory days of the Kings, as you well know. And I was at old Arco Arena with all the cowbells ringing. And in those days, they had the media a little bit down low. And I remember walking after one of the first games that the Jazz played against the Kings in Arco in those playoffs. And so, you're talking about the glory days of the Kings, and you're talking about Stockton Malone for the Jazz. And remember, Salt Lake City, a little bit conservative of a place. And so I'm holding the microphone and I say, so I don't even remember the question that I asked Jerry Sloan, and Jerry Sloan barks back at me with the cigarette breath blowing in my face, and starts going off with profanity that I didn't even know existed, and about the cowbells, and then and right behind the bench, and ringing it right behind the bench, and he can't hear his effing self think, and all this. So I've always had a healthy amount of respect. Also, I understand what the market is all about. I'm not claiming to be a Kings expert here today. That's why I'm going to ask the questions and you're going to provide the answers today. A lot of it, I'm just going to give you opinion on what I see. But I've worked in Salt Lake City. I've worked in Portland. I've worked in fever pitch NBA markets in which the NBA team is everything. And don't get me wrong, I realize that you may be a 49ers fan. I realize you may be a Giants fan. I realize that there are other teams in Northern California that you were a fan of. So it's a little bit different. In Portland, they're close enough to Seattle. They're right on the border of Washington. So there's Seahawks fans there, Mariners fans. So it's a little bit the same. Salt Lake City, they don't really have anything. They are big about college football. But my point is that those markets are all big NBA markets. And they are passionate about their teams. Civically, they're closer, I think, to their teams. It's just a different fandom. And again, I'm speaking for the fan here. You can tell me if I'm on track, but it's a different fandom in Sacramento, in Oklahoma City, in Salt Lake City, in Portland. It's just a different fandom. So I'm going to approach it today kind of from that standpoint. And again, you can tell if I'm right, if I'm wrong, whatever, but I'm going to approach it from that standpoint because winning, and we'll get into this, winning in Sacramento takes a different thing than it takes in New York or Chicago or with the Warriors or anything like that. There is a way that you have to win. And I'm going to kind of make a comp with Oklahoma City. So we'll get into that conversation as well. So anyway, that's what we're going to do today. That's who I am. Hit me up at John Lund Radio. That's a good way to hit me up. Get into the YouTube chat. That's a great way to do it as well. And I'll be checking those things out when I start asking you some questions at Sactown Sports 1140. So check out the YouTube channel there as well. And again, they're not going to give me access to any of the Sactown Sports things. So maybe Jay can tell me, if anybody is doing that. We'll take a bunch of calls today and we'll get into all those conversations. All right. Another thing you need to know about me. I am prone to be ADD. So at the end of the show this morning, and Jason Ross was going through birthdays, which I love because that's like a radio DJ kind of thing. Hey, it's time for birthdays, everybody. And one thing it just triggered in my mind, and I scribbled it down very quickly, and I just have to get it off my list so that I can scratch it out of the way. Love telling stories. So he mentioned that Sean Kemp is 56 today. Maybe the scariest moment I've ever had in my many years in media it was. So speaking of Portland, I was in Portland. And a lot like Sacramento, and I don't know if you see players out all the time or if, the way things are nowadays, you set up your house so well that you can have everybody come over. I don't know if young guys go out as much as they used to. You used to go out, you'd see guys all the time, especially in smaller basketball markets. And hey, I remember seeing Karl Malone out and Stockton out and all these different guys. And, you'd see Blazer guys all the time. I don't know if you know this, but Portland has impression friends with this. Portland has the highest per capita of strip clubs in the nation. It's a fact. You wouldn't think that, and if I asked that question, you would probably think Las Vegas or somewhere in Florida or something like that. But there's a method to this madness of this telling this story. So they have the highest strip club per capita in the United States. Does Portland? You can see why. It rains all the time. What are you going to do? You got to go inside. You got to do something. So anyway, point is, is that I'm I'm at a gentleman's club. I was a young man. I wouldn't go to a gentleman's club now. And my wife isn't listening today. She's on a plane, so I can say whatever I want. My mom's not listening today or watching today because she doesn't know how technology works. So it's not like I have to protect from anything. And my wife wouldn't get mad anyway. This is 20 or 25 years ago. And so I Sean Kemp got in trouble. I don't know if you remember back in the day, but Sean Kemp got in a bit of trouble, and he wasn't supposed to be in a bar. Certainly wasn't supposed to be in a strip club. And so we go walking in there, and at the front there's a couple of Blazers cars, and I walk into the club, and there's Sean Kemp, and he's making it rain. And a term that I'm not familiar with at all. So he's making it rain, and I just make note of it the next day on the show. I just said, I don't think Sean Kemp's supposed to be in strip clubs. If he was making it rain last night, we had a bit of a conversation. I didn't think much of it. And then I walk in because I was a beat reporter for the Blazers. I walk in there, and these two gigantic hands grab me around the neck, and I get thrown into like I don't know, a closet type of a thing. And it was Sean Kemp. And remember, this is fat Sean Kemp. This is big Sean Kemp. This is not Rain Man Sean Kemp that's dunking all over the place and thin and athletic and all this kind of stuff. He had gone to Cleveland. I think there was a lockout or something, right? And he had gotten gigantic. And then he was with the Blazers. I think they traded him for Brian Grant, the former King, something like that. And so Sean Kemp grabs me and briefly, but probably within inches of my life and scaring the hell out of me, basically tells me in not too many words, and again, profanity that I cannot use on a family radio station like Sactown Sports, and basically tells me that if I ever did that again, that we would have trouble. And I thought, well, we already have trouble. Your hands around my neck. Okay, good, fine. So anyway, Jason Ross at the end of the show today was saying how it was Sean Kemp's 56th birthday, and right away that jumped back into my mind, and I'm like, that dude nearly killed me at one point, did Sean Kemp? So yeah, that was not the most fun time that I've ever had in my life. So there's my Sean Kemp story. As you're also going for Turkey today, I would be remiss if I did not mention this today, that we will have a lot of discussion about Thanksgiving today. Power ranking foods will do. I have a poll question that has to do with Thanksgiving today that we need to get into a little bit. So we will discuss Turkey Day. One thing that we can start off with as a question about Thanksgiving is I would challenge you to have a more dysfunctional family than me. Thanksgiving, I'm not a big Thanksgiving guy, and it's not that I'm anti-family. I'm not anti-family. I'm very pro-family. I've had a great family. My wife's family is great. We have lots of people over for Thanksgiving. This year they are traveling. I am not. I don't want to go ADD on you, but I have the house to myself, and I could go on a 10-minute tangent about house to yourself, but I'm not going to do that. Maybe later on in the show I'll do that. But as far as Turkey Day is concerned, I'm not the biggest fan because, again, you can hit us up on any of the ways 339-1140, 800-912-1140, or check us out on the YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140, and you can be in the chat room there and let me know, or at John Lund Radio. If you can out dysfunctional family mine on Thanksgiving, because first and foremost, with all due respect to my family, we were, when I was growing up, functioning alcoholics, I would say. And the first reason I would give you is that we were more dysfunctional than probably your family is. One time, and this is before Uber and everything else, I'm aging myself a little bit, but I was sitting at the airport, and a half hour had gone by, 45 minutes had gone by. I'd called a couple of times, I had texted a couple of times, and finally I get this call, and we usually eat dinner at about 3:30, which is going to be difficult this year because the Cowboys and the Chiefs are the best game, and that's in the middle of Thanksgiving. And by the way, I've worked in Detroit, I worked in Dallas. We can get into that conversation a little bit later as well. It is difficult to work in those markets. So for about an 8-year period, I was in Detroit, then I was in Dallas, and that makes it challenging, but that's not the point. So I'm sitting at the airport, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, called a couple of times, texted a couple of times. Finally, I get a call from my dad, and he says in a kind of a slurred voice, because he used to make vats of Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary mix on the morning of Thanksgiving. And I'll tell you kind of as the show goes on about our Thanksgiving and kind of how it worked every single year. You had to brace yourself for it. But it's getting on time to eat. It's 3:30ish where we usually eat. And he finally calls me and he says, "Hey," I don't mean to make him sound like Harry Carey, but he says, "Hey, where are you?" And I said, "I'm at the airport. Did you forget about me?" And he went, "Oh, you got to take a taxi." And then, I take the taxi, I get out of the car. Taxi guy's yelling at me, and I'm walking in, and I go, "Look, I'm not paying for this. Like, somebody's gonna come out of the house and pay you." So they forgot me at the airport. They make vats of Bloody Mary mix. My mom cooks once a year, not because she's not a good cook, but because she just gets so frustrated with cooking. And so she would make me make, and these are disgusting cocktails, but she would make me make her um, Southern Comfort old fashions. I'm a massive old fashioned fan. So my drink of choice at any gathering, depending. I mean, if you're at a tailgate, you're going to drink some beers, whatever. But if I had my druthers and I was just sitting at a restaurant, and somebody can't, you're going around the table and everybody has their cocktail of choice, would be an old fashioned, but not a Southern Comfort old fashioned. If you've never indulged in Southern Comfort, save yourself the trouble. It's not worth it, but it's a sweeter type of bourbon, very, very sweet. And my mom would down those one after the other, and she would the entire day from about 5 in the morning when she would get up, which was not her normal time of getting up, to the time we ate at 3 o'clock. It was constant complaint as she took these things down. Another hot take in terms of Thanksgiving and the way it goes, it's not hard to make a turkey. It's not hard to make mashed potatoes. It is time consuming to make Thanksgiving dinner, but it is not difficult. I found that out when my wife and I we were living in Pittsburgh and we're in a one bedroom apartment, tiny, tiny apartment. She's pregnant as all could be with our son, and we had no choice, couldn't go anywhere. No one wants to come to Pittsburgh. Why would you? It's freezing and everything else. And unless you're a Steeler fan, there's really no reason to go to Pittsburgh. So we had no family come in. She's too big to travel, all this kind of stuff. So I was forced at, I don't know, what age is this, 30 ish, to, for the first time, do Thanksgiving dinner. It wasn't difficult. There's a little thing in a turkey. There's directions. You set the oven, the thing pops, you're good to go. You baste it a few times, whatever. It's really easy. People freak out over lumpy mashed potatoes. It's not really that hard. If it's really that hard for you, then just get the powdered potatoes. Nobody will know the difference. But you could do regular mashed potatoes, a little milk, a little butter, a little salt, a little pepper, stir them around, grind them up, make sure there's no lumps in it. Pretty easy. People freak out over that. And then you make a little bit of gravy out of the bottom of the pan. You throw some flour in there, mix it around, use a whisk, whatever. It's just not that difficult. But my mom would make it so difficult. She would act like it was just the most difficult thing in the world. So we had that going on. And then maybe the worst part of our dysfunctional Thanksgiving was everyone, they would make the turkey, they would make the mashed potatoes, they would make the stuffing, and then everybody, and we usually had way too many people at the house, maybe 20 to 25, all heavy drinkers, all would stay too long. So if we ate at 3:30, we would probably have appetizers starting at 1, middle of the day football games going on, way too many people are going on. But the worst thing was everyone brought a side dish. And when everybody brings a side dish, what that means is everybody's got their family recipe that they've got to bring, including like sweet potatoes that you don't have marshmallows on sweet potatoes, but people would bring the marshmallows. Someone would do kind of an offshoot on the green bean casserole, which is the only time you use those fried onions and mushroom soup, and those are terrible. But then they would bring all sorts of different things that we'd like, oh, this is what my grandma made. And it was just terrible. So the only thing I would eat was, if we power rank the foods, turkey's number one, mashed potatoes number two, gravy's number three. I could take or leave anything else. Stuffing's not bad. And pumpkin pie over apple pie, but we'll get into that a little bit later as well. So anyway, if you would like to out dysfunctional family me, because the worst part was, okay, so usually what happens is, and I would rather go to someone else's house than have them come to my house. Because if I go to your house, then I can just decide when Thanksgiving's over. It's great. I don't have anything to clean up. There's no mess. The mess for Thanksgiving is brutal. I would go at this point of my life, I would go to Whole Foods because they do an amazing job. It's probably too late to order that. But if you don't want to mess up your kitchen, but it's great because you go to somebody's else's house, you mess up their house, all that kind of stuff. It's a complete dumpster fire in that house. And then you get in your car and you go home. So I don't want to host anymore. But we moved into a new house. My wife is probably going to make us host at some point, just not this year. But I don't want to host because what happens is our family, at least, they would go through that phase of, okay, it's appetizers, then it's dinner, and everybody's watching football and everybody's drinking too much and all this kind of stuff is happening. Then you take the break, which is key at Thanksgiving. You take the break. You bring out some coffee maybe, and then the pie or whatever is maybe within an hour. Maybe you could talk to your family a little bit, which we weren't really good at. But you take that hour. You don't just eat right afterwards. You let the turkey kick in, whatever that's called, that you have it kick in. Everybody lays on the couch. Then you kind of get a second wind. You drink some coffee. You have a dessert, and then at that point, if you eat at 3:30 like we did, we're talking like 7 o'clock. It's time to go. I'm tired. I'm going to go to bed early. Everybody's been doing stuff. It's time. Like it's time to go. Not my family. That dessert somehow and coffee would kick in a second wind, and then they'd start making drinks again, and then maybe people would leave our house. Friday morning, maybe it was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I'm sitting there the whole time going, especially as a kid, like, is anyone going to leave this house ever? So anyway, if you can top that, that's fine. Thanksgiving on my list, the power list, probably not in the top, probably fifth, maybe. And again, I'm not anti-family. It's just Christmas is one, July 4th is two, New Year's Eve I'm a big fan of, even though the amateurs go out, love New Year's Eve. I don't do what I used to do on New Year's Eve. I go out and have a nice prime rib or something like that. By the way, speaking of prime rib, I'm going to a Thanksgiving dinner that's prime rib on Thursday, no turkey. Because if turkey, think about this too, another hot take on Turkey Day. If turkey was that great, why do we eat it once a year? You want to answer that? Prime rib you could eat all the time. Pizza you could eat. How many times do you eat pizza a year? 50? How many times do you eat burgers a year? 30, 40? How many times do you eat burritos, tacos, Mexican food a year? I mean, et cetera. You all go on down the line. Like if you separated out how many times you ate a specific cuisine, let's just not say pizza, let's just call it Italian or Mexican or whatever the case, or sushi or whatever. You'd say those things over and over and over and over and over, and you'd say to yourself, you do a turkey dinner once a year. I'm not a huge turkey guy, so I'm very excited that I'm going to be doing prime rib on Thursday and not turkey, and it's not at my house. I'm leaving, and it's going to be grand. And did I mention that I've got the house all to myself? That'll be a little bit later. All right. Anyway, that's Turkey Day out of the way. That's who I am out of the way. Thank you for having me on Sactown Sports the day before Thanksgiving. All right, let's get into this thing. I need your help coming up next. This is what I'll call myself is an impartial observer, right? I would call myself an NBA expert after covering the NBA for about 30 years. Started, like I said, my first assignment was the Bulls locker room in Utah in 1997. Hey, go cover Michael Jordan and the Bulls. And I did that in 97 and 98. That was kind of my, hey, throw him in the water and see if he sinks moment. And I've been covering the league ever since. And I've covered it in, like I said, Salt Lake City, Portland. I was there in Detroit when they won a championship over the Lakers. So I would call myself, judgment is out on your behalf, and I understand that, but I would call myself, I don't know, expert might be too strong of a word, but I mean, I know my stuff when it comes to the NBA, and I want to give you an impartial observation on what I see from the Kings, what I think they should do, but also why teams are loath to do it. So again, line them up at 339-1140, 800-912-1140. I'm going to need your thoughts. Jay is going to jump in as a big-time Kings fan and Sacramento resident. He's going to tell me his thoughts on this as well, and I want to get your thoughts. Jump on the YouTube. Sactown 1140 on the YouTube page. Hit that, and you can get in the chat room. That's a way to do it, or you can hit me up myself at John Lund Radio. A lot of questions I'm going to be asking today, but let's get into the Kings coming up next. Coming off a nice win over the Timberwolves. They have the Suns coming up tonight, but they're 5-13. Sam Amick did that interview with Scott Perry. The direction, I've been listening to the station over the last couple of days, and everybody's talking about direction. Hey, whoa. That was kind of a nice win over the Timberwolves. Should we? They've been doing far too much of rubber cement and duct tape and those kind of things. So I'm going to offer a solution and an observation on the Kings, and you telling me if I'm right, wrong, on crack, or somewhere in between. We'll do it coming up next on Sactown Sports 1140.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage.
It's the Black Friday Sell-a-thon at your Future Ford dealers. Get unbelievable pricing on F-150, Bronco, Explorer, Mach-E, and more. The best Ford is the Future Ford. So hurry to Future Ford Lincoln in the Roseville Auto Mall and Future Ford of Sacramento at I-80 in Madison.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
And 95.7 The Game in the area for about 15 years. Worked with Greg Papa. If you ever listen to our show on KBR, I was the annoying guy in the middays. Now I'm the annoying guy on your radio station right now. Happy early Thanksgiving. Hopefully you are running to the store. Well, now is probably the worst time to go to the store. Everybody's probably going now. Everybody's panicking a little bit, getting everything. Like I said, overrated, and you can tell me if I'm on crack, but it's not as difficult as your mom or anybody makes it out to be. They're in there sweating and, oh, it's so hard. It's not. You put the turkey in the oven, the thing pops. You put a little butter and milk in the mashed potatoes. Gravy is drippings at the bottom of the pan. You put a little bit of flour in. Maybe you could augment it, get a little turkey gravy with it, stir that all around, and you're good to go. Everything else, at least in my family, everybody brought something. I had nothing to do with the green bean casserole, vastly overrated in the power ranking of Thanksgiving foods. And I generally didn't eat anything else, maybe a little bit of stuffing. And by the way, this will be controversial. You stir it together. That's just what you do. I stir everything together. Some people, food can't touch. All of it. And no cranberry, by the way. I'm allergic. No, I'm not allergic to cranberry, but I don't want cranberry. All right. So we'll get into those discussions, but I've got to ask 3 questions about the Kings. Again, we're going to do an observational opinion here on this whole thing. I am not claiming to be an expert on the Kings, but what I want to do is give you I wouldn't call it an outside opinion. It's a very educated opinion on what the Kings have been. And I think, first of all, that ownership is undervaluing, and they always do. They undervalue us as fans. So everybody welcome Jay. Well, I'm welcoming Jay. I just met Jay, and it's great. Jay's great. Jay Woods joins us. Hi, Jay.
Hi, how's it going today?
Good. I'm going to ask you 3 questions, right? I'm going to ask this out to everybody.
Right to your email.
Is that just me?
No. Sorry about that.
I'm going to ask you 3 questions, and then I'm asking this to everybody at the same time, all right? So let me explain something before I ask these questions, all right? 5-13 start is not great. I saw the piece that Sam Amick did with Scott Perry. He said a lot of the right things. But if we were being honest, and this is what's really hard for a guy like Scott Perry, he gets this gig, and really what most general managers should do first thing when they get this gig, if they're in a situation like the Kings are, is that everybody can relate to this. When you're new, especially when you're in a position of power at a job, sports or non-sports, it's your time. You have a definite amount, not an infinite amount. You have a definite amount of time in which you can make moves that later on you won't be able to make, because either the owner or your boss or whatever is going to say, well, I gave you a certain amount of time. So you're in that kind of, I don't know if you call it in a relationship, it's kind of that honeymoon period where you get time to do things. And he's a first-year general manager, so now's the time. And so to me, what I'm advocating here, and then I'll ask the questions, what I'm advocating here is blow the whole thing up. And what I mean by this and why I'm saying this is this organization, again, in my opinion, this organization for far too long has done it with duct tape and rubber cement and chewing gum, and they haven't had a long-term vision. And I'm going to get into Oklahoma City at about 45 past the hour and what they've done it, and they've done it as a small market, so it's comparable to what the Kings could potentially do. Now, you're going to be able to get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander from the stupid Los Angeles Clippers in a deal for Paul George? Probably not. But what Scott Perry needs to do first and foremost, and we'll get into what winning is, but what he needs to do first and foremost while he's in this honeymoon period is blow the thing up, because you're not going to be able to blow this up in 2 years. Too late. Honeymoon period is over. And now what happens to general managers is they get nervous for their job, and so they start thinking short term. This happens in every single sport. The general manager has a honeymoon period, doesn't take advantage of, well, if I blow it up now, I've still got time, and maybe I can make this right by the time they're going to fire me. If you wait 2 years, you're going to get fired, because now it starts buzzing, especially, again, from what I can see from Kings ownership. They aren't very patient. They're not the Pittsburgh Steelers who keep their coach forever. They're not that type of a situation. So you're already on the clock right away. So I advocate blowing it up. I'm not advocating duct tape like Jonathan Kuminga. I'm not advocating chewing gum like Ja Morant. I don't want any of those kind of players. I heard that LaMelo Ball could be available. And I think the Kings fans would be like, well, at least we could be competent. At least we could contend. And this is where you come in. All right, Jay, I want to ask you this, and I want to ask all Kings fans this. I'm going to ask you 3 questions. Number one, what do you want? Like the Kings should do a town hall meeting, invite all the season ticket holders and anybody else. Hell, they should invite everybody. They should really invite Joe Sixpack at the top and the hardcore fans and everybody. And they should say, okay, first and foremost, I got 3 questions for you. Number one, what do you want? What do you expect? That's number one. Number 2, can you live through a rebuild? Because for some reason, and I don't know why, but for some reason, and Scott Perry was the same way, because Sam Amick basically, and I'll get into the questions a little bit later on the show, but Sam Amick basically asked Scott Perry about a rebuild. And nobody wants to say that. Why? Because the marketing department vomits on you. Don't use that word. Don't say rebuild. It's like me dropping an F-bomb right now. The FCC is like, we're finding those guys, right? I can't F-bomb right now. They can't use the word rebuild. They just won't. Marketing won't allow it. Marketing will vomit on it. You can't tell your fans you're going to rebuild, even though it's obvious. When you start 5-13 and you're losing games by 20 points per game, and it excites us all because they played a nice game in overtime against Minnesota, or they beat Denver, and it's like, maybe. But I don't want Kuminga. I don't want John Morant. I don't want LaMelo Ball. I don't want that. That's what DeMar DeRozan is. You've already got that. That's what the majority of this team is. That's what Zach LaVine is. And I'm not into revisionist history because it's past. Like my wife sometimes will talk to me, I should have done this and I should have done that. Well, you didn't, and it's time to move on. I'm a big forward-looking guy. I don't look in the rearview mirror. That's not who I am. And an organization can't do that either. Damn, we should have done this. We should have done that. Having said that, I'm going to contradict myself because in the De'Aaron Fox trade, you didn't want Zach LaVine. What you wanted was, I'm not trading him unless I get an expiring contracts. I want him gone now. But they got to match. I know the NBA thing works where you got to make the salaries match. I understand all those things, and so do you. I'm not going to insult your intelligence, but essentially what you've got here is we've got to match the salaries. It doesn't mean you have to take a bad contract. Oh, please, Zach LaVine, please, for the love of God, what do we need to do so that you'll opt out of your contract? I don't care if it's seen as lopsided. I don't care what Screamin' A says. I don't care what a columnist writes. I don't care. I have to have blinders on, and I have to have a vision for not today, not tomorrow, not next year, but like 3 years, 4 years from now, where I'm actually trying to win championships. So first question is, what do you want? What do you expect? Number two is, can you live through a rebuild? I like the process of rebuilding. I think Kings fans are smart enough to get it. And then the last question is, to me, it shouldn't take this long to build a basketball team. So this is the key question for Kings fans. And I've always wondered this. And I'm not ripping on fans, and I don't want it to be conveyed as this because, like I said, I watched the game the other night between the Timberwolves and the Kings, and I thought to myself, these are awesome fans. There's 17,000 of them out there, and they're going bananas. And the team's 4-13, and they're into it, and they're rolling, and you're lighting the beam, and you've been this way forever, even though there's just been a glimpse in the Sacramento era. There's been a glimpse of success. There was one a couple of years ago, but sustained success, it's been a long time. And there's really only, about an 8-year period of that. And so the three questions are, what do you want? What do you expect if we were at a town hall meeting? 2, can you live through a rebuild? And 3, what do you get out of it? I just want to know, what do you get out of it? Because I got a friend that's a Jets fan, for example. They won the Super Bowl in frickin' 1969. They never make the playoffs. They make your blood boil. I'm sure your blood pressure goes higher. I'm sure they make you drink. I mean, I ask this guy all the time. Like every time they lose, I text him and I go, what do you get out of it? What do you get out of it? I mean, can you use it like a movie where you go to a movie, you get entertained, you go home. You don't need a sequel, even though that's all Hollywood makes anymore. You don't need a sequel. You just kind of get entertained. Is that what the Kings are for you? Do you just go and you've got civic pride and you got friends and they go to the game and it's a whole thing and you go to dinner and you have a couple beers and it's just a social type of deal, and it'd be great if they win, but it's okay. Like, are you settled for that? Okay, so I went a little bit longer than I thought I would do. So here's what I'll do. Jay, I'm going to ask you these questions coming up next. I went too long. I kind of do that. But these are the 3 questions. So Jay's going to answer these coming up next. And I want you to answer this however you want to do this. You can do it on X at Sactown 1140. You can do it on the YouTube channel. Get in the chat at Sactown Sports 1140. I'm at John Lund Radio, formerly of KMBR. And 95.7 The Game. Answer those 3 questions, and we're going to continue to take a macro view of the Kings. We'll do it coming up next on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce
so when we
risks
come
to
back,
keeping
I'll
safety
play
supplies in stock.
a little
And for that,
rejoiner
he relies
in
on
the
Grainger.
music. And then
Grainger
after
offers
that,
a
you can
broad
start
range
talking.
of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the
I
deal
didn't
of
hear
your
you,
lifetime.
John. Say that again.
Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot.
It's weird. I can't
and
hear
at
you.
just $29.95 a month,
Something's
there
going
has
on. I
never
can't
been
hear
a
you.
better
It's weird.
opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live
talkback.
and save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Get more value for your money with the new owners at Elk Grove Chevrolet. Right now, supplier pricing is available to everyone, making it easier than ever to drive home in your dream car. Check out the amazing Black Friday specials online, like up to $11,000 off the 2025 Silverado 1500. Choose from a wide selection of new and used Chevrolets, plus flexible financing and expert maintenance. Visit them today and experience the difference. MyElkGroveChevrolet.com, where savings and service come standard.
Injured and you're considering an LA law firm looking to charge you 45% to 50% in attorney's fees? That's overcharging. Ashton & Price has been around for over 25 years, and I can tell you no matter how complicated your injury case, you should never be charged 45% or 50% in attorney's fees ever. Direct, experienced, unrelenting, and honest local representation matters. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton & Price serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries. So for the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now for the last 2 years, I've been sharing the great experience I've had being a customer of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the sales department to the service department, they're top notch. And now is the perfect time for you to have the MB of Stockton experience. The Mercedes-Benz holiday celebration is on, and that means you can get super low rates on new and certified pre-owned models. Plus, they'll throw in 3 years of prepaid maintenance on select models. They make it easy and affordable for you to drive away in the car of your dreams. And if you have a trade-in, well, they're looking for all vehicles to purchase. Any makes, any models, just holler at my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is the gift that keeps on giving. So take the short drive down I-5 and visit my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And while you're there, tell them Drape sent you.
Hey there, Mark and Tom, the travel and entertainment guys with you, brought to you by Sports Leisure Vacations. Time for our weekly travel tip, and with it, here's Mark.
A lot of folks who aren't frequent travelers take to the skies during the holidays. Things many of us know automatically about airport security, they aren't as familiar with. So here are some important holiday tips. Don't wrap your gifts. Repeat, don't wrap your gifts. If TSA has to take a look, guess what happens? The wrapping has to be coming off. Snow globes. They must be packed in your checked bag. They have too much liquid to come through in a carry-on. Hairstyling tools, on the other hand, must be in your carry-on, especially if they use lithium batteries. Keep your shoes on, but take your belt off. Best tip, put an Apple AirTag in bags with gifts in them. Homemade pies and cakes are generally fine at security, but cranberry sauce and spreadable things are considered liquids.
More tips to make you a smarter traveler Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Thanks for joining us. John London for Allen Stiles. If you need your Allen Stiles fix, and I know I do, that is happening today with Whitey. So Whitey and Allen Stiles today after I am done at 2 o'clock. So make sure that you stay tuned. So you're like, where's Allen Stiles? Why is Lund here? Never fear, Allen Stiles is here. It's just a little bit later. And my good friend Whitey Gleason, who I'm excited to talk about. And I would imagine we're going to probably chop it up a little bit. If you're just tuning in and you're going, why is Lund here? If you don't know who I am, I was at KMBR for a long, long time doing middays with Greg Papa. I also was at 95.7 The Game when that station started. That's how I know Whitey for all these years. And of course, Crides, you remember Mark Kreidler, and they came down from Sacramento, did that morning show, did a fine job on that morning show. It's just the station was so new, but that was an awesome show. And so Whitey and I are going to chop it up a little bit later. I hate to do this to you because I know how mad it makes you. And radio consultants hate this and all this kind of things. But I told you last segment I was going to get Jay's opinion on 3 questions I asked. And then I told you I was going to do it this segment. I absolutely 100% promised you. And I'm not a liar. I like to live up to my word, but then Jay just told me that we don't have that much time in this segment. So we're going to have to do it at the top of the hour. I'm sorry. And then I'll ask you the questions as well. Top of the hour. And again, we'll do this, but my general thought about this is I'm an observer. Okay. I come into the market. I look, I've been covering the NBA for 30 years and I look at the Kings, and there's a lot of great points in the chat line right now that I'll get to at the top of the hour as well. And again, you can hit us up in the chat at the YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140. Somebody in there saying that, hey, this is the way that the owner wanted it. This was the team that he put together. I think you would agree with me, and I'm not hating here. Again, I'm just looking at this observationally, and you can tell me if I'm crazy on crack or halfway right. This team is mismatched. It always has been. When owners get too involved in the product, and when it comes to sports, more times than not, by a large majority, the team suffers. So Al Davis at the end with the Raiders, Jerry Jones constantly with the Cowboys. And I covered the Cowboys. I have never seen an owner do what Jerry Jones does. Jerry Jones, win, lose, or draw, gets in the middle. Like, he comes to you. Usually the media, we have to run down somebody and say, will you please talk to us? In Jerry Jones' case, he's waiting. Where have you all been? Where y'all been? I need myself some glory hole. Where y'all been? Let's go. And you get around Jerry and he says what he says and he just loves it. He doesn't love winning. He just loves to be in the headlines. And so, he's too involved in the product. Joe Lacob was pulled back. They, at a key time in that organization's growth, Jerry West was hired and said, no, you're not going to sign Dwight Howard. No, you're not going to trade Klay Thompson. No, you're not going to trade for Kevin Love. No, we're going to have continuity in this team. We're going to get it right, and then we're going to have continuity, and this is how we're going to do things. And they saved them from himself. He can sometimes still get too involved, although he will listen to people at key certain times. He falls in love with certain players. So, look, if an owner gets too involved, Jed York was like this for the Niners for a period of time, and then he pulled back and he said, you know what, I'm going to hire the right people. I'm going to stay out of the way. I'm going to stay off social media, and look what it's done. Kyle, John, whatever you think of them, you can criticize them. We're going to get into the Niners a little bit later. Everybody's way jumping way too crazy as far as Brock Purdy is concerned, and no, Mac Jones isn't better. We'll do that in the 11 o'clock hour and get into that whole conversation. But when owners get too involved, the product suffers. You're not an NBA general manager. That's not your area of expertise. However you got your money, nobody's jumping in there. I don't tell my dentist how to fix my teeth. I don't tell my doctor, hey, doc, you sure you're in the right place there? Is that really my appendix? I don't do that. Let people who you hire to do something do their job, because for a long time, and you can disagree with this, it's not fantasy basketball. You're not trying to gather all the great players. I've been in a market, I've been in a place where they tried to do that, and it doesn't work. You got to have scorers, you got to have defenders, you got to have grinders, you got to have rebounders, you got to have glue guys, you got to have guys that do all these different things. Whether you like Draymond Green or not, I'm thinking you don't. He's critical to what they've done, and anybody who doesn't think that just doesn't know the NBA. They're ignorant, they're stupid. And you need everybody to be able to do that. So when you look at the Kings, don't you see redundancy? Aren't you missing something? I mean, look, for example, I was listening yesterday, and we'll get into this in the 11 o'clock hour too. I was listening yesterday. I love Keegan Murray. Don't get me wrong. He's a really, really, really nice player. But I'll go back to my original premise is you're Scott Perry. You just got here. You're in a honeymoon period. Blow the thing up. You can't blow it up in 2 or 3 years. I love Keegan Murray. And I don't know if he's ever said this, but at some point he will. He'll say, well, he's untouchable. Nobody's untouchable. Nobody. If you do your job as a general manager and say someone's untouchable, you're doing your job incorrectly. Because Keegan Murray's a really nice player, but on a championship team, and that's why I'm going to ask you the 3 questions again, and Jay's going to answer them at the top of the hour. The goal is not to be a playoff team. The goal is not to be a play-in team. The goal is not to get to the second round of the playoffs, et cetera, et cetera. The goal is to consistently be a title contender. You can never say win a championship every year because it doesn't happen. Oklahoma City looks like they're going to be a juggernaut, but it's to be in contention for a championship. That should be the correct answer. And in order to do that, Keegan Murray's probably the 3rd or 4th best player on your team. Sorry, that's just what it is. He's not a 1, he's not a 2, and I don't mean positionally 1 or a 2. I mean in terms of your pecking order, and we know how it works. You're an NBA fan. You get it. You know how these things are won. Superstar number 1, and there's not very many of those around. You got to find one of those. Then you've got a pecking order of a really good number 2, a really good number 3, a number 4, a bunch of glue guys that'll come off the bench, guys that'll play their role. Are the Kings that in any way, shape, or form? I'll answer the question for you, and you can disagree. They are not. So we'll ask you the 3 questions at the top of the hour. Jay's going to kick us off with it, and then we'll get to you on it. It's on Sactown Sports 1140.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at PowerCopiers.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, tell me all about the Black Friday sales event.
Right now, save up to $15,000 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Gladiator Sport S. Or, if that deal isn't good enough, lease one for as little as $189 a month for 36 months.
Ooh, my brother had one of these, and he absolutely loved it.
Most people who do love its versatility. But Hoblet is more than just Jeep. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. We have over 220 vehicles waiting for you at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$13,000 total net savings after $92.50 factory rebates and $37.50 dealer discounts. Rebates include $92.50 lease bonus cash. Must finance through Stellantis. Residency restrictions apply. $189 special lease with $19.95 due at signing. 10,000 miles per year, 30 cents per mile over for well-qualified buyers with 720 plus FICO score, plus tax, license fees, and dealer accessories. To get this net savings, VIN numbers 546328, 546330. See dealer for details.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
At Valley Strong Credit Union, we know that local businesses are the backbone of the Central Valley, investing in our neighborhoods, boosting the economy, making the Valley stronger. But when it comes to their finances, where can they turn? A big bank that just sees another number? That's not good enough. Valley businesses deserve Valley support for payroll, credit, cash flow, and everything in between. Valley Business is Valley Strong. Learn how our cash management services can support your business at valleystrong.com.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
KHDK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
At 2 o'clock, Whitey Gleason. By the way, I was talking to the program director, Jose, of Sactown Sports 1140, and he kept saying Whitey's name was Kevin, which I know. It's just that I had never heard anybody call him that. So he was like, last week, he called me up late last week, and he goes, "Hey, you want to do a show?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me? I have like 1,000 things I need to talk about." I left Northern California radio, Bay Area radio, about a year ago, almost exactly a year ago at KMBR. And was at 95.7 before that. So about 15 years in the Bay Area. If you've never heard of me, that's fine. I don't blame you whatsoever. But yeah, I was jumping at the chance. And he's like, "Well, Kevin." And I'm like, "Who's that?" And that's Whitey. Whitey and Allen Stiles today at 2 o'clock for your pleasure. All right, I'm going to finally get to those 3 questions. Just an overview of the Kings. I'm not saying that I'm a Kings aficionado. I am an NBA aficionado. I'd call myself that. But I'm not a Kings aficionado, so I'm just asking these very simple 3 questions. A lot of great responses in the chat on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Jump over there. You can go on X as well. Hit us up at Sactown 1140. And again, you can jump on a line. Love to hear your sweet, clean voice today at 339-1140 or 800-912-1140. Don't be shy the day before Thanksgiving. Everybody, it's Jay Woods. Hi, Jay.
Hello. How's it going, John? Very nice to meet you, by the way.
It's nice to meet you. We have a fast relationship, Jay and I, and it's been nice working with him the first hour, and he stayed around for the second hour, which is a positive. All right, Jay, just for my edification, I know that a lot of people know you here, I'm sure, but just for my edification, your Kings fandom, give us the background of it before I ask you these questions.
Kings fandom, wow. So
yeah,
I've pretty much grown up in Sacramento, so I was here when they first came here and was a big Jordan fan. You know, I was into basketball because of Jordan and the Bulls and watching those guys and seeing those guys dunk and play and be in the playoffs and all that. So when the Kings came to Sacramento, it was a big deal to me. You know, basketball in Sacramento, it's like, wow, you know, so that's my number one team out of all the teams that I like. So I've been a Sacramento Kings fan ever since they got to Sacramento.
Okay. Good. You're the perfect guy. And you're the only guy we have, but you're the perfect guy. All right. So first and foremost, the first question I asked was, what do you expect? So answer that. As a Kings fan, knowing the background, I don't need to go over it. And I'm just talking Sacramento only, knowing the background where they had a sustained period of time. There was a time in which, like I said, I covered those playoff series from a Utah perspective, and those were great teams. I had a ton of respect for the fandom. And then a couple of years ago, they kind of shake out of it after a long playoff drought. And so fans, I think, are getting excited and thinking, okay, we're going to be able to sustain this. And then all of a sudden, De'Aaron Fox says, yeah, I'm done with this. And then, by the way, we'll get into this in the next segment. Sabonis sounds like he's frustrated. By the way, good riddance, but we'll get into that a little bit later, and you can disagree with me on that. But as a Kings fan, knowing their history, question number one is, what do you expect out of the Kings? What's your expectations year after year?
So this year specifically, I knew they were kind of in flux, kind of changes going on. New GM, hadn't had a full year with the team yet. And just looking at the talent that was on the team, I thought that the Kings could be somewhere in the play-in to 7-8, somewhere 12-8, somewhere in that zone. So when they came out with such a bad record, I didn't expect them to be as bad as they were.
Okay, so that's this year's evaluation, or this year what you expect. If I were to say to you, which I am, what is acceptable year after year? So if you had a perfect scenario, knowing the Kings, what's acceptable, not just this year, but on a consistent level, what you could expect out of your team? What's acceptable?
Well, recently we've been in play-ins and hovering around that area, 7, 8, 9, 10. After they made the playoffs a couple years ago, I expected them to be a little bit better that next year, and make some type of growth, but it didn't happen. So I guess my
De'Aaron said, "Yeah, I'm done," and then here we are again, right?
Right.
Here we are back. Okay, and so the second question is, can you live through a rebuild? And what I mean by that is, I'm talking about they decide DeMar DeRozan, who's 36, Sabonis is making waves according to Hoops Hype this morning. He's frustrated. Okay, you got to go too. You get on your knees and you say to yourself, please, 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 Zach LaVine, opt out of your contract. Like they take a nuke to this thing and it's blown sky high. Can you live with that? Or would you rather say, you know what, give me Kuminga or give me Ja or give me somebody. Give me somebody for hope. Which direction would you go?
Yeah, it does seem like this team was kind of patchworked together at this point. And it's looking like these guys aren't able to play very well together. The chemistry isn't there. The defense isn't there. I don't want more patchwork. I'm ready for the rebuild. I'm ready to kind of get rid of some of these guys, maybe for some picks, for some youth, as opposed to older veterans or trying to patch this team back together for a playoff run. I want picks at this point. I want picks. And if guys are frustrated, like if Sabonis is frustrated, which I just found out, I didn't even know he was frustrated. But if Sabonis is frustrated, go out and go get your 4 or 5 picks for that guy right now,
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Hey, we're going to do this coming up next. We're going to look at Oklahoma City because I think they're the perfect example. They're in a small market. Guys aren't going to go there. They're not going to get a ton of free agents. What they've done, and I think most people know kind of what they've done, but I'm going to recap it coming up next for everybody. The Kings could be that. I know that there's people snickering going, shut up, Lund, you're an idiot. That's fine. That may be true, but I'm telling you that they could be that. So, all right, so that's 2 questions. Can you live through number 1 is, what do you expect every year? Number 2 is, can you live through a rebuild? And number 3, and this might be most important, because I said this a little bit earlier, Jay, I got a friend that's a Jets fan. They haven't won the Super Bowl since 1969. And I'm constantly asking him, what do you get out of it? Like, because in fandom, I don't know why this is in fandom, you're looked down upon if you switch teams. I know that right now there's people in their car, or it's going to happen I'm looking at the YouTube channel right now. People are going to scream and yell at Sactown Sports on YouTube. And you can't change teams. Like I don't know if that's an unwritten rule of the many unwritten rules in sports. But and again, sports doesn't make sense. So when hosts like me try to say, well, let's comp this to real life, it doesn't really work that way. Because the comp I always use, and it's stupid, but I'm going to use it anyway, which is, well, if you were at a restaurant and they served you horse meat instead of steak, if you went to Ruth Chris and they served you horse meat instead of steak, but they but the server came up to you and said, look, if you keep coming to Ruth Chris, we're going to improve our steak, but you got to give us some money. You got to keep coming to Ruth Chris and we'll make the product better. Well, I'm not going to do that. So my question to you is, what do you get out of it? Like, what do you get out of being a Kings fan? Like, they don't win. They're not going to win a championship. They're 5-13. The discussion point less than a month into the season is, do we need to rebuild? Do we need to blow it up? Sam Amick's doing an interview. I'm sorry, I'm laughing so you don't cry. But they're doing Sam Amick's doing an interview with Scott Perry, the new general manager. So you're going to blow this thing up? I mean, we're less than a month into the season. Can you let us have a little bit of fun for 30 days? Nope. Nope. Are we going to blow this thing up? So my question is, you didn't even get a month, because everybody at the beginning of the season is like, maybe it's our year. Maybe it's our year. Maybe. Could happen to anybody. And now you're less than a month in and they're already saying, well, you're going to blow this thing up again. So in all honesty, what do you get out of being a Kings fan? I'm not trying to rip anybody. I'm just asking.
That's a good question. Sometimes it's hard being a Kings fan, Right now, the first month of the season, it was very hard being a Kings fan, seeing these blowouts, For me, I want to see the team play hard. I want to see the team look like they care, go into these games and, you're fighting for, you're fighting for us. You're fighting for Sac. Maybe not all these guys care about that, but that's what I want to see these guys at least play hard. I don't like to see blowouts. When you see blowouts, it just seems like the team doesn't care. They're not playing. The fans go to the stadium, they go to the arena to see basketball. They want to see good basketball. They don't want to see teams getting blown out and starters getting subbed out. And they want good basketball. Yeah. That's what I want, good basketball.
Okay. No, look, that's the bare minimum that you should have to ask of your basketball team, of your sports team that's in town or whatever, or again, in and out of sports. Can you give effort? Oh my God. Like, can you give effort? And again, something you mentioned this there, and that's Jay, John Lund with you at Sactown Sports 1140. Love to get your thoughts on the three questions I just asked Jay at 339-1140, 800-912-1140. You can hit us up on YouTube, get in the chat room there. I'm looking at it right now. And if you jump in with something good, I'll read it. That's at Sactown Sports 1140 on our X channel as well. And me personally, you can hit me up at John Lund Radio and answer any or all or none of those questions. It is up to you. What you said there at the end, and I talked about this earlier because I worked in Salt Lake City. I worked in Portland. There's a civic pride that you don't feel, I don't think, because I also worked in Detroit, and I've obviously the last 15 years I've worked in the Bay Area. And there's just the difference between an NBA team or a single entity team that is what the Kings are versus another team. There's just a civic pride. Like, in other words, you're representing us. And I know that the Warriors represent the Bay Area. I understand those kind of things, but it's just different in a one-team market where you say, look, this is our team. And again, I know that there's Niners fans. I know that there's Raiders fans still. I know that there's A's fans. I know that there's Giants fans. But it doesn't say, even in the A's case, it doesn't say Sacramento. So if you go out there and you're a bunch of lollygaggers, or you don't play hard, or you don't give me the minimum effort, give us the minimum effort, then it somehow reflects on us. I get it. We want to be a hard-nosed team. We want to grind. We may not have the most talent, but you got to reflect what the city is. You got to be hardworking, et cetera, et cetera. When I was in Detroit, for example, that's just what that team was, from the Badborn and Lambier up to the team that won the championship that I was there with, unfortunately, Phillips and Rip Hamilton and Ben Wallace and even Rasheed Wallace, and those guys reflected what the city was, and that's what a lot of people want the Kings to be at a bare minimum. That's a bare minimum. So what do you get out of being the Kings fan? I love the, say that to me one more time. Sorry, say that, Mayor, one more time. I heard you say something.
We got Will on the line whenever you're ready.
I'll get out the lines in just a second, but that's a bare minimum is all that you want for them to play hard. Let me answer the questions the way that I see it. Number one, can you live through a rebuild? And I'll keep saying this. Scott Perry is in this is the time to rebuild. You're not going to be able to rebuild in 2 years. The owner doesn't seem to have the patience for it. There are certain organizations, and it would be great because this is how most organizations should win. They should win with continuity. You look at a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers, you look at a team even like the Warriors, who had an opportunity at the beginning of their run to say, let's trade for players, let's take shortcuts. And again, I'll get to Oklahoma City at about 25 past the hour. why they're the perfect example for the Kings, but there are certain ways you got to do this. And right now, if you're the Kings, you're not going to get free agents. It's no knock on the city. That's just the way it is. Oklahoma City's not getting free agents. The Jazz aren't getting free agents. Portland's not getting free agents. The disadvantage that you have if you're not New York and you're not the Lakers and you're not a major market team is you've got to build your team a different way. So you've got a lot less margin financially. You can't make the errors that those teams can make. You can't just clear a bunch of cap room and say, oh, all these free agents are going to come here. It doesn't work that. What you have to do is what the Oklahoma City Thunder did. And again, I'll get to that in just a second. But the three questions that I just asked you, what do you get out of being a Kings fan? Very, very simple. Do you have the stomach for a rebuild? By the way, the stomach for a rebuild kind of a thing, do you have because I'm looking at YouTube right now and there's people saying, no. I do not have a stomach for. Well, the other side of I don't have the stomach for another rebuild. They haven't rebuilt right. This isn't a rebuild. They didn't rebuild. They said to them, being there. And what you should have done and what Scott Perry should do when they do this again is to say, look, I don't care what a talk show host says. I don't care what Screamin' A says at the decibel of a jet engine on ESPN. I don't care, like any of these things. You have to live in a bubble. You have to have blinders on in this business. And if you get fired, you get fired, but you have a fiduciary duty to the city, to the team, to do what's best long-term for the organization. The problem becomes that if you try to do this rebuild in 2 years, you start thinking to yourself, I got a hair-triggered owner who's not going to give me much more time. I'm 3 or 4 years into this thing. I should have rebuilt this thing 4 years ago, which is where he is now. And they're not going to let me do this in 4 years. So now I've got to get guys like Zach LaVine. And now I got to get guys like DeMar DeRozan. And now I got to get guys like Dennis Schroeder and try to win, try to get into the 10 or try to get into the 9 or try to, hey, look, we're in the playoffs. No, you're in the play-in. That's not the playoffs. That's not the same thing. You're not competing for championships, which is why I asked you, what do you expect out of your team every year? Because if you want to play for the 10 seed, if you want to play for the 8, if you want to go to a playoff game, if you want to give yourself the illusion that you're competing when you're not, that's fine. If you want to they want to keep the turnstiles moving. And I can tell you from a fact, because I've talked to many owners about this, that a lot of them don't want to win. I know that's crazy. What are you talking about, Lund? No, a lot of them don't want to win. They want to keep turnstiles moving. They want to give you illusion that they're trying to win. They won't go all out to try to win. They would rather be the 8 or the 10 and look at that. Oh, we're trying. Look how close we're getting. They don't want to go over the expenditures. They don't want to hit over the line. They don't. The Warriors, all you want. Joe Lacob just continually did it and did it and did it and did it. Mark Cuban does it. I mean, there's a handful of owners that do it in basketball. There's a couple of owners that do it in football. There's a few that do it in baseball. The Dodgers, hate them all you want. They put money back into the product. They treat owners like that. A lot of owners would say, if I'm in the playoff hunt every single year, I'm cool with that because that keeps the turnstiles going. That keeps the season tickets. That keeps the suite full. A lot of them are like that. So I don't even know if they want to win at that level. But that's, to me, the expectation to answer these questions. I don't know what you get out of a fan. That's out of being a Kings fan. You would have to answer that. I would expect my team to not play hard to win. And I don't want to win. Like if we have to do, and this is where I think owners don't get it. Fans are smart. Sacramento basketball fans are smart. If you start a rebuild and we see that you get the right player, and look, Sabonis is not the right player. Sorry. I saw this story on Hoop Site. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's by the time your contract is up in a couple of 2-3 years, you're going to be like 32 years old. You're banged up all the time. Go find me the trade. Go find me the trade. Because Sabonis is probably and again, I'm not going to say this is not positionally, plays the 4, sometimes the 5. But what I mean is he's not a 1. He's not a 2. He might be a 3 on a really, really, really good team. And the Kings have already got that. That's what Murray is. They need a 1 at all costs. They need, and it's very difficult to find, and it's very difficult to find for a team that is in Sacramento's place. In other words, they're not going to just sign here. So Scott Perry's got two ways that he can do this. He can trade, because what you want is as many bites at the apple as that you can get. It's not about getting the 8. It's not about DeRozan. It's not about Sabonis. It's not about any of these guys. At all costs, the number one thing Scott Perry, the general manager of the Sacramento Kings, has got to do above anything else, and you can the Kings a 2. They can get a 3. They can get a 4. And I mean that in terms of the pecking order to win championships. We all know how this works, right? There are very few exceptions in the history of the NBA in which this is not the case. You have your number one, let's use Oklahoma City, and I'll delve deeper into how the Kings can be Oklahoma City at about 12:30, or excuse me, at about 11:30. But it works like this. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is your number one. Jalen Williams is your number 2. Chet Holmgren is your number 3. City the trend. That's the hot thing. That's the way you go. Even though, Holmgren's 7 foot and maybe the defensive player of the year at this particular point. I'm going to really simplify this, but that's how the pecking order works. Superstar Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Jalen Williams, who, by the way, that draft pick was had by the Clippers. So you got to get a stupid general manager. Hopefully you get really lucky. There's an element of luck in winning, right? There's a big element of luck in winning. It's not just you did A, B, C, and D, and look, there you are. When the Warriors run, Minnesota had to be dumber than a rock, and they take 2 point guards right before the Warriors, not named Steph Curry. Was that because the Warriors are that good? No, the Timberwolves were, and still are, that dumb. So there's an element of luck to this whole thing. Oklahoma says, okay, you want Paul George? Cool. We'll take SGA and like 900 draft picks. Okay, cool. We got Jalen Williams with that, our number 2 guy, and we got SGA, our number 1 guy. And then Presti did an amazing job from there in terms of drafting. And all of a sudden, here's Oklahoma City that Kevin Durant leaves. They get Deverick leaves. They get devastated. They trade Harden. They get devastated. Like, they're nowhere. What are they going to do? And there's an element of luck to what they did. But if I'm Scott Perry, the number one thing that I'm thinking right now, and the number one thing that I'm going to do above everything else is I got to find a 1. I got to find a 1. I don't need rubber cement. I don't need duct tape. And that's what Jonathan Kuminga is. And that's what Ja Morant is. And that's what are the other names that are out there? That's what LaMelo Ball is. Like, those are the type of names that are starting to pop up. Teams get frustrated early in the season. That's what Lauri Markkanen of the Jazz is. Like, any of those kind of guys, that's fine, but you haven't moved the needle whatsoever. Sabonis is a nice player. He's complaining. Bye. DeMar DeRozan, 36. Bye. Nobody's going to take Levine, but you just got to hope that he opts out of his contract. Bye. And you say, wait a minute. Whoa. I'm not getting value in return. No, what you want is expiring contracts. You got to match. I get it. You want expiring contracts and draft picks. I'm Scott Perry. I want expiring contracts and draft picks. Because what that does is that gives me leverage so that I can hopefully move around the draft. And if I see that player, because you're going to have to draft them, probably, if I see that player, then I'm going to go up to number 1 and I'm going to get that number 1 player, because that's the key to the entire rebuild. You got to find your SGA. You got to find your Steph Curry. You got to find your Luka Doncic. That's why Dallas was so stupid in that trade. Everybody else was yip-yapping, blah, 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 blah. What the Mavericks did at the end of the day on that trade was they gave them a number 1. And again, I know you know this, but let's define this. A number 1 is in every sense of the word. He's your quarterback. He's the leader of your team. He's the face of your franchise. On any given night, he can carry you. That's what he does. They take on the responsibility of that. There's a lot of guys in this league who are 2s, 3s, and 4s who want to be paid like they're the number 1, but there just isn't very many of them. There's probably less than 10 in the league right now. And right now, and I know you're going to find this to be absolutely positively insane, but this is the way that the Kings mindset has to start being, and Scott Perry's mindset has to start being. I don't care if it's DeRozan. I don't care if it's Sabonis. I don't care if it's name whatever player. I don't care if it's Keegan Murray. Nobody is untouchable on this roster. You've got to find a guy in a certain age, by the way, that's already under contract because they might fly the coop like Sabonis is getting frustrated right now. They got to be of a certain age that they can grow with the organization. They've got to be under contract, I think, for the foreseeable future and just get really frustrated with their team, a la the Luka Doncic situation. Now, was Dallas going to trade Luka to the Kings? No, because he was going to be up for a contract extension and he probably would have left. No offense to Sacramento, but that's probably what he would have done. But my point is, and you're going to laugh at some of these names I'm going to bring up, but they're all under contract. They're all 25 or under. But you've got to be able to have all these assets, all these number one picks, all these different things that, by the way, Oklahoma City, for as good as they are, they have all these assets. They still have a ton of number one picks and pick swaps and all these kind of things. And other teams, you've got to be able to take advantage of that. So, for example, Tyrese Maxey under contract till 2030. He's 25. Anthony Edwards, I don't know. Is he going to leave Minnesota? Probably not. But I would call these teams on the regular, monthly. You guys doing okay? Anthony Edwards, cool? Like, you guys have any fights? Anything wrong? Because the Luka thing came out of nowhere. We all know that. So you need to be dialed into every team. Cade Cunningham, Şengün of the Rockets. Cooper Flagg isn't off to a great start. He's a rookie. I'll give him a minute. Amen Thompson. Those kind of guys. Guys who I think Amen Thompson, if he's able to shoot, then Amen Thompson might be able to be something in this league. But the reality of it is anybody like that, all right, there's a handful of young players. And did you mention, or did you notice? I didn't say Jonathan Kuminga. I didn't say Ball. I didn't say any of those. I didn't say Ja Morant. Ja Morant's not a number one. He's a gigantic pain in the rear. I don't want that guy. He's not the face of my franchise. But Lund, he could make us better. We could get the 8. That's not my goal. It might be yours, but that's not my goal. I'm trying to build what Oklahoma City has. That's my responsibility. That's my fiduciary duty as the general manager of the Sacramento Kings. I don't want to be the 8. I want to go back to the glory days. I want to go back to J. Will, and I want to go back to C-Web, and I want to go back to Vlade, not the general manager. I want to go back to those days. I want to go back to Paige. I want to go back to think before the season. My goal is not for my team to play hard. If my team will play hard, I'm satisfied. What? The prices of an NBA game? So you're going to go there and you're going to pay X amount of dollars for a game and you're going to pay $20 for a beer and you're going to sit. I hope they play hard tonight. My goal would be, I'm Scott Perry. I'm not trying to be the 8. I'm not trying to be the 6. I'm not trying to use duct tape and chewing gum and rubber cement and all those kind of things. That's Kuminga. I'm not doing that. I'm going to take all the assets that I have, and as much as they are a mismatch unit to me, and they don't fit together as a whole, individually, this can happen in any sport. Well, people look at a team and they say, well, why are they so bad? Well, Sabonis is not a bad player in the right situation, nor is Zach LaVine, nor any of these guys. There's a lot of talent on this team. But what Scott Perry's charge is right now in the first year of his tenure, when he still is in that honeymoon period, is you blow this thing sky high. You take all these assets and you say, I want a bulletin, right? A bullhorn. Excuse me, we have a garage sale going on, an open house. Everything must go. Or like a Sunday. Everything must go. Everything is on sale. No reasonable offer refused. Actually, reasonable offer refused because the whole Zach LaVine thing. I don't want that again. I don't want to win a press conference. I want to win a championship. I don't want to be an 8. I don't want to be a 10. I don't mean that. I mean, look at me. If you're on the YouTube channel, I'm like a 2. I don't mean it in that respect. The way I look, I don't want to be an 8 seed. I don't want to be a 10 seed. I don't want to be a play-in. That's not success to me. I know you got to start somewhere, but let me go back to the way that fans look at this whole thing. Fans can go through a rebuild to me. They can. You've been going through it forever. It's just now you're like, oh, I can't sit through another one. But what if they did it right? What if they took all these assets and they didn't bring back a Zach LaVine or a DeMar DeRozan or somebody like that? What if they actually said, we're gonna keep blinders on. We're gonna keep a pair of headphones on. We're not gonna listen to what anybody screams and yells and says like dummies like Lund. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna look at this thing in a macro view and say, if we can just get picks, if we can just get expiring contracts. Look, we'll be really, really terrible. And the NBA has this system, and I disagree with it completely. If you're the worst team, you get the number one pick. I don't care if they tank. I don't care. Look, it doesn't matter because that opens itself up to, and yes, and I'll give you philosophies throughout the show constantly. The rest of the world is not on the up and up, and sports isn't as well. Sorry to burst your bubble on that whole thing. It's not good business, probably. It's probably not good business for the Kings to have the number one pick and the most marketable player in the draft. And I just don't think that the NBA is on the up and up. I don't know about those cards. I go back to Ewing in 85 and all those kind of things. Oh my God. Now somebody could scream at me and say, well, why don't the Knicks get the first pick every year? These teams, I get it. I mean, they can't do it every year, but I think that there is conspiracy in sports. I believe that 100%. And I think that teams that should have the worst record, they get the number one pick. That's how it works. This cockamamie, which is an amazing word, this cockamamie lottery that they have, and they got these envelopes coming out, and it's just another way that the NBA can market. Look, we have all these teams that didn't make the playoffs, and everybody gets to sit up there, and there's the general manager, and there's the general manager's kid, and there's somebody with the rabbit's foot, and then there's there's a player, there's the guy they picked first last year. Ooh, we're coming back with the 3 picks. Who's going to get the number one? That's why they do it. Look, the worst team is the worst team. That's the way it should work. So that's what makes it more difficult as well, because you can get knocked out of that spot. You can get knocked back. You don't get the best player, all those kind of things. It's not great. It's not the greatest thing ever. All right. I've given you a lot to chew on this whole thing. I am team blow it up. Let's get into Oklahoma City. Well, I'm going to get your thoughts coming up next. 339-1140, 800-912-1140. I gave you the 3 questions to answer. You can do that coming up next. And then I want to comp the Kings to where they are right now to where Oklahoma City is. They're a small market team. They're a juggernaut. Why can't the Kings do it? Sactown Sports 1140.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Future Ford.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It is Wednesday. You feel the chill stepping out the door, and you may see some areas of fog. We could have some heavier, dense fog around the region, with drops in visibility through about 11 o'clock this morning. Into the day ahead, we will see a slow breakup of the fog, with temperatures peaking in the mid to upper 50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
It's the Black Friday Sell-a-thon at your Future Ford dealers. Get unbelievable pricing on F-150, Bronco, Explorer, Mach-E, and more. The best Ford is the Future Ford. So hurry to Future Ford Lincoln in the Roseville Auto Mall and Future Ford of Sacramento at I-80 in Madison.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Hey everybody, it's Kyle Draper from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now for the last 2 years, I've been sharing the great experience I've had being a customer of Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the sales department to the service department, they're top notch. And now is the perfect time for you to have the MB of Stockton experience. The Mercedes-Benz holiday celebration is on, and that means you can get super low rates on new and certified pre-owned models. Plus, they'll throw in 3 years of prepaid maintenance on select models. They make it easy and affordable for you to drive away in the car of your dreams. And if you have a trade-in, well, they're looking for all vehicles to purchase. Any makes, any models, just holler at my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. The Mercedes-Benz Holiday Love Celebration is the gift that keeps on giving. So take the short drive down I-5 and visit my friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. And while you're there, tell them Drape sent you.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
No payments for 90 days at Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. That's right, no payments until February 2026 on every new Ram, Jeep Wrangler, Gladiator, even the Pacifica. No payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock at the guaranteed lowest price. You can check out their full lineup at SacSuperstore.com or stop on by. They're centrally located right across from Hagan Oaks Golf Course. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. It's the place where a handshake still means something. And right now, no payments for 90 days on every new vehicle in stock.
Light the world through the giving
We're only
machines.
gonna have like 5 minutes.
Experience the joy of giving this season and helping those in need. Now through December 8th at the Galleria Mall, Roseville, and Vintage Fair Mall, Modesto.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
What's happening? Thanks for joining us. Happy, what are you serving today? Oh, it's Blackout Wednesday is actually what it is. It is the day before Thanksgiving. Are you familiar with the term Blackout Wednesday? Jay Woods is with us. We'll reset things in just a second. I got 3 questions to ask you, and we're going to get out the lines in just a second. Love to hear your voice at 339-1140, 800-912-1140. John Lund with you, formerly of KMBR 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. It is my pleasure to be hanging out with you the day before Thanksgiving. Jay, are you familiar with the term Blackout Wednesday?
No, I'm not.
It means basically that if I get this wrong, people can tell me this. And again, you can jump in. I'm watching the chat line in the on YouTube, and you can see my sweet shining face, Sactown Sports. Check it out at Sactown 1140 and SactownSports.com. So what Blackout Wednesday is, it's you basically come back. I remember this from college. You come back, all your friends are there. You get absolutely obliterated. And then the next day is Thanksgiving, and then you're hungover all day. But in my house, like I said, we have the most dysfunctional family.
Okay, I get it. That kind of blackout. I see what you mean.
Blackout Wednesday is I wouldn't say it's St. Patrick's Day drinking. I wouldn't say that it's New Year's Eve drinking, but maybe on the calendar, Blackout Wednesday might be like 3. Behind New Year's Eve, St. Patrick's Day, Blackout Wednesday might be 3. You never heard of it?
I have not, but I see what you mean now.
Yeah, it's. I don't know if somebody may call it different, but Blackout Wednesday is what tonight is. So be careful out there. Take Ubers and all those kind of things. 3 questions that I'm asking you. We're a month into the Kings season, and unfortunately, Sam Amick did a great interview, as he always does, with Kings general manager Scott Perry. And I've been listening to the station over the last few days in preparation to doing the show. And it's already. I mean, let's see. What is it? I guess we're a month in. Today's the 26th. I never know what day it is. Today's the 26th. So we're just over a month, maybe 5-6 weeks in, and you're excited. And normally in most sports, it's like, we'll see. And when you get off to a 5-13 start, despite the fact that there's encouragement from the Timberwolves win. There's encouragement from the Nuggets win. It's a possibility that they beat an overachieving to this point Suns game tonight, which of course you can hear right here on Sactown Sports 1140. It's possible. Three wins in a row. What was that Lou Brown and the Indians? They call that a winning streak. So it is very possible that they could win 3 in a row. That would not change my opinion. Scott Perry has a duty to do, which is he's early in his tenure. And if you're going to blow it up, you got to blow it up now. You can't blow it up in 2 or 3 years. My experience in seeing this owner is he's not going to go for that in 2 or 3 years. You can go for it now. We all know this. If you've ever been in a position in a job, you get a honeymoon period. If you're a boss of any way, shape, or form, it's like, okay, you get hired, and then it's like, I better do everything now. I better do everything fast. They'll give you a little bit of money at first. They'll give you a leeway at first, a little travel budget at first. A few years into the thing, they're like, but we did this 2 years ago, boss. I don't care. I'm not doing it now. So you got to do it now. I don't think there's any, there's no debate to me that if you've made that decision and you're 5-13, and yeah, could they come back? Sure. Teams have done it. Was it the Nationals in 19 came back? They had a horrendous start. I mean, teams do it all the time. But let's just be realistic. I don't think it is. So again, hit me up. The 3 questions are, what do you get out of being a Kings fan? Can you live through another rebuild? But I'm advocating a real rebuild this time. They haven't done a rebuild. They've done a remodel. They've done I don't know. They fixed a couple of walls. Maybe they fixed the foundation. Now they haven't fixed the foundation, actually. They haven't done any of that. So I'm talking about a rebuild. And then I'm curious to know what you expect out of your Kings year after year. Not just this year, but when the NBA season's coming up, what would you like to feel before the season? Again, you can't say win a championship. Well, you can say whatever you want. You can't really say win a championship. You can say contend. You could say be an 8 seed, be a 10 seed. That's not enough for me. I would say I'd want to be a championship contender. How do I do that? We'll do at the top of the hour. We'll look at Oklahoma City because if they can do it, the Kings can do it. Will's been waiting a while. Will, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. You're on Sactown Sports 1140. What do you got? Is Will there?
You love to hear yourself talk. That's one thing for sure.
Hey, Will.
Jay, you know I've been on 45
Will.
minutes.
Hey, Will. I'm the only one here. If I don't talk,
it doesn't matter.
Well, Jay is here, but I mean, there's no one here. I have to talk. It's my job. I'm a talk show host.
You tell people to call in, and then you won't let them talk.
Go ahead.
Okay. Look, man. Look, I don't know you out there. Probably a lot of people don't know you. Look, none of us.
A lot of people do know me, actually. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm talking. Okay, I never heard of you before. Okay, I listen
That's
to the
fine.
station all the time. But okay, you still you interrupting. Just let me get my point across.
Okay, drop Will. Drop Will.
Nobody.
Drop Will, please. No, drop Will. Drop Will. Drop Will. Drop Will. Let me tell you something. I'm a guest host today. I want to be really nice today because it's Thanksgiving, and I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving. You can do whatever you want, and you can wait for as long as you want. And I want to be nice to everybody, and I don't want to be an a-hole, and I don't want people to yell and scream and get pissed. But you can't come on the show and go, you talk too much when it's me. You can't come on the show and say you can't interrupt. Yes, I can. Like, if you come on the show, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me at all. You don't have to agree with me at all. You can say I'm stupid and insane and you're wrong. And that's fine. I love the other side of the story where I go, oh yeah, I didn't think of that. Will, you're really smart, but you can't insult me. That's the only rule on the show. If you come on the show and insult me, then I can't have you on the show. That's the only rule. Disagree, call me stupid, take shots at my family, call me ugly, whatever. I mean, there's very, very, very few rules on the show, very few. But if you come on and complain and things like that, insulting is fine. But if you come on the show and complain after waiting for 45 minutes, I can't have you on the show. I apologize for that, Will, but that's just the way that it goes. All right. If the Oklahoma City Thunder can do it in a very similar market to Sacramento, why can't the Kings? We'll do it next. Sactown Sports 1140.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
Ready to order?
Yes. we're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Visit us at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. Today, you're going to pay down your credit card bill. But you decide when you'll pay it. Before the due date, so those interest charges don't get you. But you decide if you pay it in full. But you definitely should, because again, interest charges. With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder. Thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights.
Thunder.
The rush of pure exhilaration.
Thunder.
The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
When a person is seriously injured, there's no substitute for the personal legal relationship offered by the local NorCal firm of Ashton & Price. From the first attorney meeting, every important decision is made with a direct consultation with, and I can't believe I have to say this, a real, live, experienced, flesh and blood local attorney. It's called Home Court Advantage for a reason. Ashton and Price, serious local attorneys for serious people with serious injuries with no fee until we win. For the best local advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
The winter service event is on at Maida Subaru. Now is the time to let Maida Subaru get your Subaru road ready for the winter weather with exceptional savings on tires, brakes, wiper blades, and more. See all the service specials at maidasubaru.com.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Thanksgiving. It is wonderful, I'm sure, that you were off, but that means your kids are home too. That's fine. Most people like their kids. Some people don't. John Lund with you. Thanks for joining us. Allen Stiles, if you're having withdrawals, he's going to be joining Whitey at 2 o'clock. If you don't know me, as Will intimated last segment, and there's no problem in that, I was a KMBR for a number of years, up until 2024. Did a midday show with Greg Pop up there, and I think KMBR booms into Sacramento. I'm sure it does. Helped start 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area as well, with Whitey Gleason. That was back in 2011, so I've been in the Bay Area, been all over the country, Detroit, Portland, Salt Lake City, Dallas, a lot of different places, but the last 15 years in the Bay Area, over 30 years in the radio business, media business, those kind of things. So I'm giving you an oversight of what I've seen from the Kings. And again, you don't have to agree with me, and you don't have to wait on hold for 45 minutes. I'll try to shorten my thing, but it's probably not going to happen. But what is acceptable for the Kings year after year is one of the questions. What do you get out of being a Kings fan? And what is fair? What is fair? And the last question is very simple. Do you have the stomach for another rebuild? And I don't mean a duct tape rebuild. I don't mean a rubber cement rebuild. I don't mean a Jonathan Kuminga coming aboard or a Ja Morant or somebody like that, where it's like, woo, we might be an 8 or a 10. My viewpoint is, and all owners aren't like this, but my viewpoint is your job is to win a championship for a city. That's what you should be striving for. You shouldn't be striving for being an 8 and a 10 and keeping the turnstiles moving, even though you got to start somewhere. And one of the things I haven't mentioned, and then I'm going to get out to Oklahoma City, and I want to get out to the lines as well. Lines are wide open at 339-1140, 800-912-1140. Fans are smart. Kings fans are smart. I don't know why in all of sports that it's become, and this is over the last maybe 25 years with the advent of social media, and when teams say they don't. Jerry Sloan once told me that if you listen to the fans too much, you're going to be sitting with them. And for some reason, over the last, say, 20 or 25 years, the advent of social media, maybe it's 20, maybe it's less, whatever. Teams seem to think more and more about the fan because the fan can reach them. And I know this, and you know this too, about social media. It's fun, and I have it in its proper perspective, but it's a lot of people who complain on there. It's a lot of people who, they're trying to make their own brand, whatever the case may be. And it's not necessarily reflective of what the fandom thinks. And so my point in saying that is that, and I could be wrong in this, and you can tell me in any of the which ways that you want to get a hold of the show, that Kings fans, I do think, can stomach a rebuild, a real rebuild. And I don't mean like getting this guy, getting that guy, and being an 8 or a 10 and not being able to go any further than that. You've got this ceiling in place, not a glass ceiling. You have a cement ceiling. You're not getting higher than 8 or 7. And in the Western Conference right now, where Oklahoma City is and a number of those teams and where Houston is, all these things, it doesn't look real rosy right now, which is why I'm advocating in his first year that Scott Perry do this real rebuild now, that the West is tougher than it's ever been. I mean, there's all these different things. You have guys who still have value, and guys like DeRozan. And there's a story out of Hoops Hype, which I don't know if it's real or not, that says Sabonis is frustrated. Wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't. That's fine. You're not in the age range that I want to do it anyway, because the team I want to talk about real quick, and then I'll jump out to lines, is Oklahoma City. If Oklahoma City can do it, then why can't the Kings? Very similar size markets. Players don't clamor to go to Oklahoma City. Now, is it really difficult to get an SGA? Near impossible. But Scott Perry's charge right now is to take all the assets that he has, the older assets, the ones who don't want to be here, the ones that don't want to fit because there's a bunch of square pegs and round holes here, and say, I'm going to do everything I can. And the number one thing on my agenda above everything else, because we can fill in all the other blanks, is get a one. Get a young one. That's really hard. Sorry, that's your job. I was listening yesterday to the morning show. Jason Ross does an amazingly good job, and he had I think Sean Cunningham from Channel 3, and Sean was saying that it's really difficult to rebuild. I agree with Sean. He's 100% right. You have to match contracts. There's all these different things. It makes it very difficult. Players won't sign inside. All these different things. I don't care. I don't care. It's really hard. That's the job. That's why you get a bunch of money. That's why you get the opportunity. And so to me, his number one charge is get a number one guy. Because I can find a 2 and I can find a 3 and I can find because to me, and again, I'm not saying this positionally, I mean, you need your Steph Curry, you need your SGA, you need your LeBron James, you need your Luka Doncic, that kind of player. And there's only a handful of them in the league, but you got to find one. The face of the franchise, the marketable face of the franchise, the player who can carry a team through stretches when you have injuries, all those kind of things. Very difficult to find. The one who will take the responsibility, the one that's smart enough to stand in front of the camera and say it's all my fault, even though it's not. All those kind of things. A lot of guys want to be paid like it. Very few can do it. So that's number one on the list. Well, they got one in SGA. So if you look at their roster, here's what's amazing to me. And every team is like this. Don't be fooled otherwise. Every team is like this. You've got to do it through the draft. Now, has Oklahoma City, their biggest thing was SGA. Got it. They traded for Alex Caruso. The only free agent really on their roster of note is Isaiah Hartenstein. Homegrown talent. Jalen Williams, both of them. But their number 2 guy is Jalen Williams, Lou Dortz, Aaron Wiggins, Chet Holmgren, Cason Wallace, Ajay Mitchell. All those guys are homegrown. The majority of their roster is homegrown. And so that's where the Kings have got to hit it. So how do you do that? Well, if you look at Oklahoma City still, 2027, 3 first-round picks. 2026, 3 first-round picks. They got Phillies, their own, and Utah's protected. In 27, they have the Spurs 1 through 16, and they have Denver's 1 through 5. They have a pick swap with the Clippers. I don't want to bore you to death on this stuff. Point is that Sam Presti, the general manager of the Thunder, has not only nailed just about every draft pick, trade, and free agent grab in a small market team in which teams or players don't generally want to go there, but when you get really good to a certain point, you will be able to find those ring chasers, and that's like a guy like Isaiah Hartenstein, and he fits perfectly. Just about every player outside of Hartenstein is about 6'6", 200 to 220 pounds. What's the NBA all about right now? Positionless basketball. They fit. The pieces fit. All those guys are two-way players. They can defend. You maybe have the defensive player of the year in Holmgren. He's the only one who's not 6'6", 220. But every other guy on that team is a piece that fits. You can't say that about the Kings. It's a bunch of mismatched pieces. It's a organization that has said, let's just grab this and grab this and grab this, and we'll just throw it in the pot and see what happens. It doesn't work that way. It's not fantasy basketball. So my question to you is, if Oklahoma City can do it, why can't the Kings? But you have to have a mindset. You have to have an owner that says, look, Sam Presti, this is a long-term thing. I'm not firing you in 2 years if we're not in the playoffs. I'm not firing you in 4 years if we're not in the playoffs. I'm not firing you in 5 years if we're not in the playoffs. Because I like your vision, because we sat down when I hired you and you said, I'm going to do A, B, C, and D. And his background was with the Spurs. And so you're saying, okay, I'm going to give this guy the benefit of the doubt. You can't in 2 years say, we're not where we need to go. Let's restart. Let's get a new philosophy. Continuity is part of winning. And you have to have what? Patience. And Kings fans have had an inordinate amount of patience. I get it. But it hasn't been a real rebuild. It hasn't. And so in your first year, that's what he's got to do. So again, if Oklahoma City can do it, why can't the Kings? 339-1140, 800-912-1140, Sactown Sports. John Lund with you. Thanks for hanging out. We'll get into it at the top of the hour. In fact, let me do this first. Because Will was upset, I made him wait far too long. I'll admit that. Let's get out to Joey. Joey, you're on Sactown Sports 1140. Welcome.
Hey,
Hi, Joey.
John. Unlike Will, I am a fan of you. I have heard of you, and I've listened to you for. No, I have. I've listened to you for years. Also, with the listening to Greg Papa always talk about the Niners and the Giants. And I know you're not a big turkey guy, so happy Festivus.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. It's probably like fourth in my order, but yeah, thank you very much. And back to you. Same with you.
Thank you. So what I wanted to talk about is as far as like the rebuild.
Yeah.
After 16 years of a drought, after 1 year of maybe just playoffs,
Yeah.
It is hard as a Kings fan. And I know all these outside GMs come in and, all these new coaches besides Doug Christie because he's been here for the years. It's hard for them to understand because we've been here for the duration of the team's history and watched the whole thing. It's an obvious Truman Show, right? So it's hard to grasp another few years more. Okay, with that being said, tickets have to get lowered. Yeah. I just spent over $500 for Sunday's game against the Grizzlies.
Oof. How many people? 4 or 1 or 2? How many people
4.
Is that?
Yes, 4. And it's not bad. It's lower level, but still, now I'm kicking myself in the butt because I'm thinking, who's going to show up? What team is going to show up? Do I have to leave at halftime? Third quarter.
Rough, man.
That's the part. And my wife's talking to me like already, jinxing me and saying, why did you do it? I was like, I love my team and I try to make it at least one.
See, I love that. I love that. And I'm sorry to cut you off. Let me just ask you a question. Don't hang up on Joey. Let me ask you a question. Okay. So
sorry, I hung up on Joey.
Okay. Here's the thing. I asked these questions before. What do you expect from your team? The second question I asked you, can you get through a rebuild? It didn't sound like you can, but I want to reiterate this. I'm not talking about a duct tape rebuild, and that's not really a rebuild. And I told you this before. Rub. Nobody will say rebuild. Marketing department will punch Scott Perry right in the face. I will punch you right in the face if they use the word rebuild. So they won't do that. But I'm not advocating for a half rebuild. I'm not advocating for bringing, you may be really, really, really angry at the return they get. Just for the sake of conversation, because Sabonis is top of mind today, because according to Hoops Hype, he's saying, I'm getting frustrated here, man. And I wouldn't doubt that he is. But let's say that there's a trade, and we'll carry this into the top of the hour. And then I got to get into some turkey talk because I'm getting a headache. Let's say that that Sabonis gets traded. And it's not for anybody you heard of, and it's for a bunch of picks, and it's for expiring contracts, and you don't like it. To me, that's the best thing they can do. That's what they should have done with De'Aaron Fox. You don't need to win the press conference. That's not what you're trying to win. Look, at least we got Zach LaVine, and he can score 25 a game, and he doesn't impact winning. I know that's a crazy thing to say. When's he ever won in this league? Now, he's been with bad organizations. He's been with Chicago. He's been with Minnesota when they weren't winning. I get it. But he's not a winner. You knew what you were going to get. You know this. You're a smart Kings fan. You're a smart NBA fan. You knew that trade wasn't going to work, but at least you totally didn't vomit at the press conference. You're like, well, the guy's got some numbers. I'm not advocating for that. That's not a rebuild. That's not a real one. I don't care who I get back. I just want to make sure that the salaries match, and it's not beyond this year. So if I'm trading Sabonis, I'd need a matching contract. I don't care who the player is, but you got to give me like 2 first-round picks, a pick swap. I need that. Those are my assets now. That's what a rebuild is all about. That's what Oklahoma City has done. That's what Danny Ainge did with the Celtics. And again, you've got to get lucky sometimes. Boston got Jason Tatum with the 3rd pick. Philly took Markelle Fultz. Like, what? You got lucky. They were stupid. The Warriors got lucky. Minnesota was stupid. The Thunder got lucky. The Clippers were stupid. There's an element of stupidity by the other team, or let's just call it luck. I mean, that's what it takes. It takes getting lucky sometimes in this whole thing. So we'll ask you those questions. We'll continue that. Plus, we'll get out to the lines. People want to talk. 800-912-1140, 339-1140. I've asked you those 3 questions over and over again. You can hit us up on the YouTube channel as well if you'd like to see my sweet, clean, shiny face at Sactown Sports 1140. And do remember, by the way, Kings and Suns tonight. And if you're missing Allen Stiles, he's on with Whitey at 3 o'clock, only here on Sactown Sports 1140.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Kings Black Friday deals are here. Cheer on the Sacramento Kings with slam dunk deals this holiday season. Save up to 40% on Kings tickets. Plus, shop buy one, get one 60% off merch deals online and at the Kings team store. Elevate your game day with 20% off experiences on the Kings home court. And don't miss out on savings for Kids Club kits and Junior Kings clinics for your little Kings fans. Check out all the limited time offers for tickets, gear, experiences, and more at kings.com/Black Friday.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
Business moves fast, and so do we. At Bank of Marin, we team up with businesses in the greater Sacramento area to help you drive the lane and score big. With dedicated relationship bankers and local decision-making, we help you move quickly, whether you're upgrading equipment, buying your next building, streamlining cash flow, or fueling growth. From expansion to investment, we're ready to help you win. Bank of Marin, your local business bank. Visit us at bankofmarin.com. Member FDIC.
The mildest summer in 30 years has left AC makers with overstock and far below their sales targets. Your chance for huge savings. Sierra Pacific's partnership with top manufacturers mean exclusive discounts to clear inventory fast. Get premium systems installed flawlessly by friendly pros with ironclad warranties and great discounts with SMUD rebates. Plus, HVAC's tax credits expire December 31st. Call for your complimentary proposal. Visit SierraPacificHome.com.
Sierra Pacific Solar Heating and Air. The guys in the big red trucks.
Guys, tired all the time, gaining weight, low drive? These aren't just signs of aging. They could be low testosterone or other underlying issues. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is making it easier to get answers with a comprehensive wellness panel. It's not just a lab test, it's where better performance begins. Our providers will check your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. A $400 value for just $99, or free if you start treatment. Over 120,000 men have trusted Revive to restore their energy, mood, and confidence. So if you're ready to feel better and live stronger, call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com. Offer ends November 30th. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, tell me what's going on for the big Black Friday sales event.
Well, they say you got to finish strong, so that's what we're doing at Hoblet. Right now, you can save up to $14,500 off MSRP on all remaining new 2025 Ram heavy duties.
I want to make sure you meant to say all heavy duties.
That's what I said. $14,500 off MSRP on all remaining new 2025 Ram heavy duties, with some starting as low as $48,995. It's savings like this that make Hoblet one of the top Ram dealers in America. Plus, with over 400 new heavy-duty Rams available, your new Ram is waiting at HobletDodge.com.
Don't miss your chance to search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$14,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 2500 Laramie and Rebels after $4,500 factory rebates and $10,000 dealer discounts. 5 of this net savings, $48,995 net price on 2025 Ram 2500 tradesmans. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory cash, $500 on the job upfit for eligible upfit. VIN number 525142. See dealer for details.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Kings and Suns tonight. Dare I say 3 in a row? Could happen. Wouldn't change my opinion. 5-13, getting blown out of a lot of games. Did offer encouragement. There's no question. With the win over the Timberwolves, a great atmosphere, by the way. And win over the Nuggets as well. So 3 in a row. Would that change anybody's opinion? Some Sabonis talk today. We'll get into that conversation as well. John Lund with you, longtime Bay Area talk show host, KMBR for many years. If you ever listen to Pop and Lund, I'm the Lund part of Pop and Lund for all those years. Pre-half and post for the 49ers. Maybe you heard that on the network because we carry the games here as well. And was it 95-7 the game when they started in the Bay Area as well? So you may have heard of me. It's not a requirement, like Will said. It's certainly not a requirement. But it is great to discuss with you. I am advocating for a full, real rebuild for Scott Perry because he's new here and he's got some leeway and it's the honeymoon period and now's the time. It's now or never. And I'm advocating for trades that you probably won't like. Sabonis doesn't want to be here. Fine, go. DeRozan is 36. Fine, go. Zach LaVine has an option on his contract. Please, 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 Lord. These are the prayers you should say at night. Please, Lord, forgive me for all my sins, which there are plenty, and please bless this food we're about to eat. And if Zach LaVine would opt out of his contract, I would forever be in your debt. Amen. Before you eat turkey tomorrow. That probably is a prayer that you should make. Therefore, Scott Perry could just take back expiring contracts and as many draft picks as he possibly could put into his basket and properly rebuild the Sacramento Kings, which is something they haven't done for years and years and years and years. And I'm not interested myself personally in Dennis Schroeder. I'm not interested in Sabonis if he doesn't want to be here. I'm not interested in the 36-year-old DeMar DeRozan. And there's nothing against any of those guys. The team is redundant at positions. It doesn't fit. Look at Oklahoma City and the thing that they have built in a very similar market. They did it with picks. They did it with the number one thing. And I know what you're saying, Lund, hold on. They did it because the Clippers are stupid. There is an element of luck in every single successful team. The Patriots had a long-term thing. They got Brady in the 6th round. The Spurs got Tim Duncan. The Warriors got Steph Curry with the 7th pick after the Timberwolves were too stupid to take him. They took 2 point guards in front of it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's an element of luck to this that the Kings would have to have. But the things they can control, compiling as many draft picks as they possibly could, getting expiring contracts so they can actually put the right players and reconstruct a team that is the land of misfit toys at this point. That's what they need to do. And I'm asking you as a Kings fan, and I know this is not popular, to sit through another rebuild, but not the duct tape kind, not the kind of, hey, we're bringing in Jonathan Kuminga. Oh boy, we can be an 8. That's fine. And again, my opinion does not mean that has to be your opinion. I mean, you're thinking to yourself, hey, Lund, let's walk before we can run. How about this? We make the 8 seed. We make the 10 seed. But what I'm advocating here is if you do that, in my opinion, and you bring in Kuminga, you bring in LaMelo Ball, that's kind of like dopamine, you know? That's like a sugar rush. That's like, we all do this. We live in a microwave society right now. And we all want that quick rush, right? We all want that quick rush. We all want satisfaction right now. And then later on we go, God, why did I buy that? I don't need this. That's what the Kings have constantly. I didn't need to buy that. I didn't need to trade for Zach LaVine. I should have done an expiring contract. I didn't need to win the press conference. Everyone would have yelled and screamed, what are you doing? It's expiring contract. I just want expiring contracts and draft picks. That's all I want. That's what I tell every team in the league. You want my pieces? You want my players? It's expiring contracts and to make a match because you have to do, and it's draft picks. That's all I want. I want to do what Oklahoma City did. And then I've got to have an element of luck. Danny Ainge and the Boston Celtics, when they got that team, Philly calls them up and goes, hey, you're at 1, we're at 3. How about we trade? And Danny Ainge went, okay. And then they're sitting at 3 and they get Jason Tatum and Philadelphia gets Markelle Fultz. Yeah, there's an element of luck there. So there's that. This is not a foolproof method that I'm telling you. But what I am simply saying is that to me, that's the thing. They've got to go through a full rebuild right now while he's still got a honeymoon period going on. So that's question number 1. Number 2, I said, what do you get out of being a Kings fan? And number 3, what are your expectations? I'm very curious to know because my expectations don't have to be your expectations. And a lot of owners, as I've told you before, that's not their expectation. We're under this illusion that all owners want to win at a really high level. Most owners, and I'm not just saying this because I'm wondering about it. I've been doing this 30 years. I've talked to a number of owners, both on and off the record, and they flat out told me before. NBA owners have told me, one specifically said, I own 40. I remember doing an interview with an NBA owner one time, and he said, I own 47 businesses. 47. And the NBA team is just one of them. And this was early in my career, and I thought, my life is shattered because I thought all owners wanted to win, and they don't. He wanted to keep turnstiles moving. He was in a medium market. He couldn't go for a full rebuild. He couldn't afford it. So he's like, look, I have to keep turnstiles moving. So I've got to, when I make trades, when I make moves, when I draft players, I've got to think in my mind, I can't take too big of a swing. I can't make a financial mistake. I can't do these things. I've got to run this team like a business. So don't be under the illusion that all owners want to win at the highest level. I don't know what Vivek is. I don't know what he wants to do. And I don't think anybody does. You could be the biggest Kings insider that there is, and I don't think you could, because he's not going to say it to you. I just know that teams don't want to do a rebuild. They can't even say the word rebuild because the marketing department will punch him in the face. So there's that. But I don't know if he wants to win at all costs, because right now for the Kings, to me, to win at all costs means to take the pieces that you have, and they're not all bad pieces. They just don't fit together. So you got to take these pieces. You got to break it up. It's going to be ugly. But here's the thing I know about Kings fans. I think I know. When I speak for the fans, I often get in trouble. But what I think I know is, and I saw this the other night against Minnesota, and it's highly impressive. There's 17,000 people going bonkers in that place, and they win an overtime game in Minnesota, and there's your dopamine. Hey, man, I got to go back. Got any more of them Kings Timberwolves overtime games, man? Like, you're hooked. It's awesome. You have civic pride. You want to see your team win, but then that doesn't happen every single night. You get frustrated, but what you're looking for that high again. Can they have one of those games? So give me your thoughts. 339-1140, 800-912-1140. By the way, I want to let you know I'm ecstatic to be here today, filling in for Allen Stiles. If you're having withdrawals of his, speaking of withdrawals, he's going to join Whitey at 2 o'clock. And like I said, I was at 95.7 The Game at the beginning in the Bay Area, sports radio station in the Bay Area, if you never heard of it. And Whitey was the morning show, and I was doing midday. So I can't wait to talk to Whitey, I don't know, 1:30-ish, something like that. But anyway.
1:45.
1:45 is when I'll talk to Whitey?
That's when they usually do the crosstalk, about 1:45.
Okay. So we'll talk to Whitey about 1:45. By the way, if you're a Larry Krueger fan, Krug, Sacramento State's own, and 49ers insider, he's going to join us at 1 o'clock, driving back from the facility in Santa Clara. All right, let's get out to the lines. Get your thoughts. Sal is up first. Sal, thank you so much for waiting. My pleasure to have you on Sactown Sports 1140. What do you got?
Hey, my man. How's it going? Hopefully you can hear me okay.
Hear you just fine.
Good. Thank you. I've never heard of you, and I was listening to you, and there's a commonality between those teams, the Oklahoma, the San Antonios, the Utahs. The commonality is influence. Their influence creates their thinking, and their thinking creates their behavior. And it all starts at the top. It doesn't matter if you're running a lemonade stand or if you're running an NBA franchise. If you don't have the correct mindset, and the correct mindset is not in place, then you will not be able to procure some type of culture, and then for sure there'll be no identity. The Kings have been rebuilding since we traded for Mitch Richmond. We had a good coach. We had some good we had a couple of good GMs. And then now, and I don't want to be all negative, but if you're talking about a rebuild, our biggest hope for a rebuild is that the jock sniffer goes and tries to get involved in some type of hobby with the A's or something and relinquishes his idea that he knows anything about basketball. He himself drove up the price on Levine. He wanted Levine a couple years before, drove up the price. The Chicago Bulls matched him in 15 minutes. And then a year or two later, we end up getting Levine. It's like just because something is shiny doesn't mean that you should bite at it. So I'm a Kings fan. I played up to a high college. I played up to a high level of basketball. It all starts at the top. Once Levesque figures out that he knows nothing about basketball and he should just stay in his lane and let the general manager, which brings up my point. Does the general manager, Mr. Perry have leeway? I mean, they hired the coach before they hired Mr. Perry. So everything is wonky from the get-go, no matter what anybody says. And when it's wonky from the get-go, all things end well, that start well. Well, it needs to start from the top. And, it's real easy to say, well, we don't have Sabonis and he's not happy. Of course he's not happy. But didn't Sabonis lead the league in double-doubles last year? Didn't he lead the league in the top 3 in rebounds? Isn't he a walking double-double? Am I going crazy? And I understand his contract is big and stuff, but this is where we have to kind of hone in on if we're going to give up something. I mean, if we're going to get something, we have to give up something.
So let me ask you a question. You brought up about 5 great points. Let me ask you one question, then I got to jump because there's other people, and I want to be before my ADD kicks in, and I'm not able to answer your great points that you've made. Sabonis, let's bring him up just because there's a report out today that he's not happy. Blah 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 blah. See, in my world, I would take Sabonis and I would lose the press conference, and everyone would scream and yell and boo and hiss and spit at me, because what I would do with Sabonis is I'd say, I just want to get out from under that money. So I want an expiring contract. I don't care who it is. And I want as many draft picks and pick swaps as I possibly could get. I don't care who I get back as long as it's an expiring contract, because you got to match those. And it's a bunch of picks that I can use down the line. You, and I don't want to speak for you. What would you want to do with Sabonis? And then I want to get on to some of your other points.
Well, I'm a big fan, and I'm from the old school. I believe that you bring your hard hat to work every day, and you bring your lunch bag, and you make people cry, and you keep pounding them until they stop you.
So you'd want value. What you're saying is you don't want to go my route, which is fine. You don't want to go my route. You would rather get value for him.
I would go your route, and we get value. Sorry to cut you off, but the thing with Oklahoma is that they picked everybody that was 4-year and above. They stayed in college for 4 years. Their mindset was to draft people that were good citizens, people that would fall in line, buy into a system, play a role for the synergy of one whole. We don't have that now because our owner doesn't even believe in that. Our owner just believes in shiny objects and dunk championships. So
Sal, thanks, man. Good points. Good points overall. Thanks. Appreciate you. Sorry to cut you off.
Thanks, man.
That opens up your line. 339-1140, 800-912-1140. John Lund with you on Sactown Sports. I'm advocating for so let me just answer about 5 of his questions, and ADD's already kicked in, so I've already forgot about half of them. So you heard what I said about Sabonis. I like Sabonis. It's not that I don't like hard hats. Let me just go back to the elements of winning. Not an 8 seed, not a 10 seed, not a 3 seed, not a 5 seed, not a maybe, not a play hard. I'm advocating championships. I'm advocating what Oklahoma City has, and it takes a long time. And we live in a dopamine society. Give me it now, give me it now, give me it now, give me it now, give me a pill. Give me it now, microwave it. Give me it now, I want Ruth Chris and McDonald's speed. That's what I want, and that's what I need. That's what I need to get. That's what has gotten the Kings in trouble before. And what scares the hell out of me and Wood as a Kings fan is I don't want Jonathan Kuminga. And the elements of winning to me, and it's not positionally, a point guard is 1, an off guard is 2, a small forward is 3, etc. I mean the pecking order of how you win a championship. You need an SGA, you need a Steph Curry, you need a 1. Okay? A LeBron, you need your true number 1. We all know what that is in the NBA. Kings have lacked that for how long? Ever. So that's Scott Perry. I'm Scott Perry right now, and I say the number one thing, if I'm in a job interview for this job, the number one thing I would want to hear as an owner, and then I'll get into the owner in a second, but the number one thing I'd want to hear as an owner is, how you get me a number 1? Hey, Scott Perry, how are you getting me a true number 1? You can't win championships with a number 2 and a number 3 or a bunch of number 3s and a couple of 4s. I can't do that. And that's what this team is stocked with. I like Sabonis, man. He would be an awesome player as like the 3rd or 4th best player on a championship team. That's what I'm talking about. That's what he is. He's a nice player, but the Kings aren't at that point. Keegan Murray, as great as he is, I'm not here to rip Keegan Murray, and everybody can get on me about it. And I've been listening to the station over the last few days. And is this Keegan Murray's team? I don't buy into any. Whose team is it? What are you talking about? It's Vivek's team. What do you mean, whose team is it? I'm not into that kind of thing. He's not a number one, though. I just know that. He's a really nice player. And he's a young player. And he could be maybe at most the second best player, more likely the third or fourth best player on a really good team. And if you disagree with that, that's completely fine. But let me just jump back and give you an old school thing that I'm fond of this term. I got time for this? Let me see, what time is it? Yeah, I probably don't have time to get into this. I'll just do this part of it. There was an old player, you probably remember him if you're old school. You can shake your head yes or no, but his name was Tony Campbell, and I call it the Tony Campbell rule. He was with the Minnesota Timberwolves in 1989 when they were an expansion team, and he was no good. He was sitting at the end of the Lakers bench, and all of a sudden he's on Minnesota, and he scores 20 and gets like 8 boards and he got a bunch of money. The Tony Campbell rule is somebody's got to score points. Somebody's got to get rebounds on a bad team. Somebody's going to score. They're not going to score 50 points a game. They're not going to get beat 112-50. So somebody's going to score, and then those players get overvalued. What we don't know about Keegan Murray, for as good as he looked the other night, for the mindset that he has now, which is very admirable, for the amount of work that he's put in clearly, for the jump that I think he has taken, what exactly is he on a really good team? I don't know. Nobody knows. What if he was on a really good basketball team? What would he be on Oklahoma City? The third or fourth best player? Would he be better than Jalen Williams? Maybe he would. I like Keegan Murray. I'm not saying that. But they still lack that number one guy. Dennis Schroeder isn't that. Malik Monk isn't that. Sabonis isn't that. Zach LaVine sure as hell isn't that. He's not a winner in his NBA career. None of these guys are that. So if it's not that, your number one charge is finding that number one player. And even if it took Keegan Murray, even if it takes Sabonis, even if it takes any of these players, everybody is tradable at this point. That's what a real rebuild is. So I don't want to confuse people because people are hitting me up on the chat line on YouTube and all these kind of places, and they're going, well, I can't sit through another rebuild. And I get it. You can't sit through another remodel is what you can't sit through. You can sit through a rebuild because, again, I think fans are smarter. I think fans, the one thing that I think owners shortchange with fans is they're very, very smart. We have more ability to know what's going on with our teams than we've ever had in our entire life. Guys like Sam Amick and these insiders and these guys who do all this work and then present it to you. You have more ability to know what's going on really within your team than you've ever had in your life. They're not stupid. Fans aren't stupid. Kings fans sure as hell not stupid. They're very smart. They're very educated. If they want to be, you are. Not they, you are. And so hey, we need to rebuild. But the other side of that is if you give us a glimmer, like if we see a young player that's a really nice player, if we see the light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train coming our way, then we're going, hey, you know what? It's okay. We can win 20 games as long as we're going in the right direction. And right now, I think that you're continually stuck in driving in like a circle. You're like a dog chasing its tail. And it's like the fans are smart. They know. They're going, look, this isn't good because I'm not seeing anything that's going to get us more than like a 10. Hey, if we could get the play in and then lose, what does that? I mean, does that do something for you? Maybe I'm just the host here. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. And you're going, you're wrong. Being the 10 is cool. Being the 10 or the 8 is cool if the arrow is pointing up. Being the 8 or the 10 is not cool if the arrow is pointing down or sideways. It's got to be pointing up. In other words, you got to start somewhere. But fans want to see a glimmer. Fans want to see hope. Fans want to see that player that you go, you know what? That is a one to build around. How long has it been since we had that guy? All right, give me your thoughts. 339-1140, 800-912-1140. We'll take some calls on the other side. We'll take some thoughts. And then I've been holding this forever. I have everything you need to know about Thanksgiving. And we'll do that next as well on Sactown Sports 1140.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade. Free for all to enjoy circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
Match your way to $50K this holiday season with Sky River Casino's $250,000 holiday cash match. Earn entries daily by playing your favorite slots and table games. Plus, unwrap 100 bonus entries every Tuesday. Then join us on select Saturdays for a chance to win up to $50,000 cash. Visit skyriver.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Must be 21 or over.
Get Black Friday savings during the Happy Honda Days excitement going on now at Stockton Honda, Northern California's best Honda dealer. You'll score big with low payments, top trade-in value, and a huge selection of new Hondas. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Kings Black Friday deals are here. Cheer on the Sacramento Kings with slam dunk deals this holiday season. Save up to 40% on Kings tickets. Plus, shop buy one, get one 60% off merch deals online and at the Kings team store. Elevate your game day with 20% off experiences on the Kings home court. And don't miss out on savings for kids club kits and junior Kings clinics for your little Kings fans. Check out all the limited time offers for tickets, gear, experiences, and more at kings.com/Black Friday.
Hi, this is Greg Papa. Disasters hit every day. If your home, business, or building has suffered from any disaster, SunPoint Public Adjusters can help. SunPoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to and letting your focus be on what's most important, your family or your business. Call SunPoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. SunPoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Blackout Wednesday Eve. That is Blackout Wednesday. If you don't know what that is, look it up. We educated Jay Woods, who was here with me on that a little bit earlier. Blackout Wednesday is when everybody comes home, you get crazy drunk, and then it's Thanksgiving and you're hungover tomorrow. And by the way, everything you need to know about Thanksgiving, let's see, when are we going to do that? What time is it? Let's We're gonna finish. We're not gonna finish our conversation with the Kings. We're gonna keep it going as long as you want to. I'm advocating full rebuild. Scott Perry is in the honeymoon period, and I don't want contracts back. I want guys that you're not gonna like. I want expiring contracts. I don't care who they are. I don't need to win the press conference. Let me finish one thing, and then I want to jump out to the lines. And by the way, Jay just told me I was giving out the wrong 800 number, so that's a problem. I'm an idiot. 800-920-1140. 800-920-1140 or 339-1140. Love to hear your sweet, shiny voice. By the way, if you are going to call the show today, I'd like to know what your Thanksgiving plans are. I'll give you this little teaser. I'll tell you a quick thing. Give me a total of 60 seconds here, and then we'll jump out the lines. I want to finish up. Who was the caller? Sal, who was talking about the owner. Look, I don't have enough of an opinion on the owner to say this, but I will, knowing what I do know about the owner. Where I will agree with him on it is any owner in sports who is overly involved, and I don't mean financially, I don't mean behind the scenes, whatever. You have to hire people and then let them do their job. So if you look at owners who are overly involved in this thing, you got to be involved. There's a huge difference between, say, what Jed York used to do and what Jed York does now. Jerry Jones, overly involved, Cowboys stink. Al Davis was overly involved, Cowboys stink. Mark Davis is overly involved, the Raiders stink. That's just generally one of the rules. Again, I'm talking about rules of, hey, there's got to be a clear pecking order of 1, 2, 3 to win NBA championships. And the Kings need to find number one, and then you can find 2, 3, 4 glue players, all those kind of things. But number one is if you want to really win a championship, but I don't know if the owner is dedicated to that, because it takes more resources than normal, and some, as I said, don't really treat it like that. But anyway, and I've given you the 3 questions today as well. So give me your thoughts. Then we'll get to some Thanksgiving talk. We still have Niners to do. Way overreaction on Brock Purdy and the way he played on Monday night. Plus, Larry Krueger is going to join us at 1 o'clock. So you must rip off the knob and stay right here on Sactown Sports 1140. All right, let's get out to, is Sarah still hanging out? Hi, Sarah. Welcome to Sactown Sports 1140.
No, Sarah dropped off, but we do have Phil, if you want to speak to Phil.
Let's go to Phil. Sarah left us. Phil, welcome.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Good. How you doing, Phil?
Good, man. You're really speaking my language, and I think that what the big distinction is that Sacramento fans will love a rebuild, a real rebuild. They will love it. We haven't had it. I've been a Sac fan since I was a little kid, Mitch Richmond. We were retooling ever since then. Mm-hmm. And the joy of actually building young stars like the Thunder did, where they drafted for upside. They like people like Ousmane Dieng, who's still on their team, who's just, he didn't develop. His contract's expiring, but they gave him a shot. Like Pokashevsky, they just gave him a shot. He was just came out of nowhere. He looked good, flash in the pan, he went. They just kept getting bad contracts, getting assets. That's what we need to do, and it'll happen. It'll be beautiful. And like guys like Keon and Teagan, I love them. They're exactly the type of players I love. But those are the pieces that championship teams need, and those are the pieces that will give us the assets we need to rebuild. And even if we're losing, there's a difference between losing with no hope and losing with joy. And Sacramento will love it. And
you're a lot smarter than me. That you put that so succinctly. And by the way, before I let you go, because I want to talk about your comment, what are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Oh man, I'm not doing any family stuff this year. Big family stuff. I'm just staying in with my partner, and we're cooking all of our own stuff that we grew in our garden.
Oh, dude, right on. You're the man, Phil. Thanks.
Yeah.
See, and I'm not saying this about Phil because he agrees with me. He's probably the smartest man alive, but I'm not saying this because Phil agrees with what I'm talking about. But he brings up some really great points. The term he just used, what was it? Now I just lost it. Losing with hope, or however he put it, was very succinct. And I'm not smart enough to do that. And that was absolutely brilliant on his part. But it's exactly what I'm talking about here is, if you give me hope as a fan, I'm speaking for the fan, but I am a fan. If you give me hope, that's okay if you lose. That's okay if you lose. Like at the beginning of the show, when I was asking these questions and we were talking about this, and we were saying, what do you expect out of the team? And can you sit through a rebuild? And what do you get out of being a Kings fan? You can hit us up, 339-1140, 800-920-1140. Hit us up. I'm asking these questions, and he put it perfectly, which is, look, I can lose with hope. I can't lose with no hope. And fans are smart. They know So if you add a Kuminga, if you add a Ball, I'm talking about individually, these are the guys that are available. Think to yourself one thing. Why are they available? Now, look, for every Jimmy Butler who gets on his best behavior and actually fits in, most players, there's a reason why. I mean, Ball hasn't won anything. John Morant's a giant pain in the ass. Like, you don't want these guys. You're looking for a true one. Let me use Morant as a perfect example. Talent-wise, could he be a number one? He could. His shot is not really great. He's not quite as athletic as he first came in, but he is a giant red flag. But the Kings, I could see it being so desperate to say, look, this is better than what we have. But to me, that's not what you're looking for. You're looking to avoid that at all costs. Say what you want about the Warriors. You can hate them all you want, and I completely get it. But if Kuminga can't make it work there with all the leadership and all the different, and all the things that they have to offer for a young player, then he's not going to do it out on his own. He's not the kind of player that you want. LaMelo Ball, wonderful. The numbers are great. He's not a number one guy. They don't win in Charlotte. He's not a number one build-around piece. So those are the players that are available. It's kind of like free agency. I always say this in free agency in the NFL or in any sport. Why do you think they're a free agent? They're too old. They're too hurt. They're too much of a pain. They're too much. Like, there's something wrong. So those are the three players that are being bandied about. And some Kings fans, and again, it doesn't mean I'm right and you're wrong, but some fans are going, hey, man, I'm just clamoring for something better than what we have. I get it. I completely understand that viewpoint. But to me, I'm like, no, I'm passing on all those guys. I don't care. And again, the reason I keep bringing up Sabonis is because he's in the news. Apparently, Hoops Hype saying that he's disgruntled, dissatisfied. By the way, every player on the Kings should be. It's about winning. It's not about your personal stats. It's about winning. So you should be dissatisfied. You're 5-13. You should be dissatisfied about the way things are going. So it's not really breaking news that he's dissatisfied. But if he's dissatisfied, I would call his agent pronto. And I'd say, look, by the time you're ready to be like a, number 3 player, which you kind of like, if your team had Sabonis as its 3rd or 4th best player, you'd probably be a pretty good team.
Can I ask you a question, John?
Go ahead.
How many picks do you think, or what do you think the Kings can get back for Sabonis?
Well, again, it depends on what you want, right? Could you get expiring contracts and lots of picks? I think you could, depending on the team and what their need was. If you're trying to win a press conference, which the Kings have been, in my personal opinion, too willing to do, I guess what I'm saying is I don't want another situation, a De'Aaron Fox situation, where the fans, I think, you tell me this, Jay, the fans are smart enough when they made that trade to go, no, not Zach LaVine. Like, that's going to be an albatross contract around their neck. We don't want that. He doesn't impact winning. He hasn't done it in Minnesota and Chicago. That's not the player they win, but they can go to the press conference and go, look, this guy's an all-star, versus what their viewpoint should have been, which was, we got expiring contracts that you're probably going to hate, but we got a bunch of picks, and that's the real value here. So my question, I'll throw the question back at you, because maybe I didn't satisfy it well enough, probably didn't. But what would you want back? Because I want back picks and whomever it is that's an expiring contract, which is not going to inspire people in the short term. But I think a lot of fans would be like, well, I just want something better.
Yeah, I mean,
which I don't really care about that. I care about the assets.
That Gobert trade, I mean, how many picks they got for Gobert? I'm thinking the Kings could get at least as many picks as Gobert got. And, I mean, that would bring in some youth.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. The goal obviously is, and this is really impossible, and I don't think any of these guys can do it, but again, Oklahoma City got lucky, and they'd be nowhere near what they are, but they did it. They got SGA. Nobody thought SGA was going to be this. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Nobody said Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was going to be an MVP, and he's going to be the number 1 player on a team that is going to become a juggernaut, which Oklahoma City is in a small market. So if I'm the Kings, that's where I'm staring. But Scott Perry, that's why you're getting paid the big bucks, brother. So Scott Perry, go identify that player. And I don't want to come across as this, Jay. I don't want to come across as I don't think any of these players can play. Sabonis can be a really effective player in the right situation. Hell, he can be really effective here. I just don't think the way his age is, it's going to be in time for the Kings to be in their window. The point of it to win a championship in any sport and become a juggernaut, which is what you want the Kings to become, is that you have this magic of all the players being in their prime at the same time. And if you look at Oklahoma City across the board, they're aged anywhere from like 21 to 26, 27. SGA is 27. But I mean, Chet Holmgren and Jalen Williams and all these guys, they just got to, all these guys are in the prime of their career or a little bit short of it. They don't have 35 and 37 and trying to keep it together with duct tape like the Warriors are doing. They're in the prime. So by the time Sabonis is ready to contribute at that level, he's too old. By the time DeRozan is able to, he's too old. Russell Westbrook, all these guys. So take these pieces, and I'll include Keegan Murray, even though he's a youngster. If he can get me that kind of player, and I'm Scott Perry, and I'm that smart, and I think, you know what? Like, they wouldn't have gotten Luka last year. I'm not naive. I understand that. But you've got to canvas the league on a regular, not in almost an annoying way, to call every team and go, anybody disgruntled? Call Minnesota on the regular. They're the team that gave the Warriors their dynasty. Hey, Anthony, everything cool between you and Anthony Edwards? Hell, I'd start controversies. I'd leak stuff. I want Anthony Edwards on my team. He's a one. Anthony Edwards, in the true sense of a word, is one of the 10 ones in the league. So, I'm calling Minnesota every day. Everything cool with Anthony Edwards? Damn. Everything cool with, whoever you think it is. I just want to I got to get that guy above all else, right?
Definitely. I just don't think they're going to give up Anthony Edwards for anything.
No, they're not. No, they're not. But you know what I mean? And the other mentality, I think, and I don't think Kings fans feel this way, but I think the league kind of looks at it that way, is, well, who would come to Sacramento? Well, you're Scott Perry, general manager of the Kings. Your thought has to be, we can do anything. Oklahoma City can win at a really high level. Utah won at a really high level for a lot of years. Portland won at a really high level for a lot of years. I get it. Things are different. Players control the league more than they ever have in the history of the league. But I can't worry about those kind of things. I've got to get a number one guy. And let's go back to your question of Sabonis. I would lose the press conference. I would get booed and hissed and potentially spit on, although that's disgusting. And that's happened a couple of Jamar Chase. But, I would be willing to just say, look, it's fine. Short term, everyone's going to hate me. But long term, that's just the way that he's got to think. And the reason I keep advocating for doing it now, Vivek, I don't think is going to have a lot of patience, right? I just don't think that. So in 2 years, Scott Perry can't do a full rebuild. In 3 years, Scott Perry can't do a full rebuild, because what Vivek is going to think is, where's my ROI? Where's my return on investment? Well, I don't have it yet. He's got to do it now in the honeymoon period. So when he talked to Sam Amick, and I keep going back to that piece, he's got to do it now. Like Sam asked him, hey, you're off to a 5-13 start. I'm paraphrasing here, but you're off to a 5-13 start. What are you going to do here? He's like, well, we got to build culture, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, that's great, but you got to make a decision right now. It's not like you can, in 2 years, go, yeah, I guess we need to rebuild. Even this whole year, like this year has to mean something. And what it has to mean is DeRozan, if Sabonis doesn't want to be here, Westbrook has some value. Like, these are all nice pieces, and they might be really effective pieces for a team that's trying to, just get over that hump. They can get a lot back. And by the way, it's the only time I'm a big advocate for big trades at the trade deadline, because it's when the lesser team can have leverage over the better team. And that doesn't happen very often. So once you get to the offseason, you've got equal leverage because no one's playing. You get to the trade deadline and you have all these pieces that can be the difference for a team, even though together they're not exactly what you want. But if you sell them off, these pieces, you can have leverage over the other team. And it's one of the rare times in sports you can have that. Well, you're desperate. I want all those picks. Hang up. Say no. Like being at the car dealership, That was a bad example. All right. Give me your thoughts. Wide open lines at 339-1140, 800-920-1140. Hit us up in the chat room. People are going bananas on YouTube. Sactown Sports 1140. We'll continue this conversation. And I told you, and we have to get to this, all the answers to your Thanksgiving questions. And then top of the hour, 15 minutes, our good friend Larry Krueger, Sac State's own 49ers insider that is driving back. I spoke with him this morning. He's driving back from 49ers HQ right now, and he will help us get through all 49ers issues, including the most overrated story in all of sports. We'll do that at the top of the hour here on Sactown Sports 1140.
The The San Francisco 49ers play on Sactown Sports 1140.
Touchdown 49ers! Every game on your #1 sports station.
Okay.
Don't miss the action on your local sports leader. Sactown Sports 1140.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus. $5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Sacramento, the wait is over. The all-new Hard Rock Sports Bar is here at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. Enjoy the ultimate 24/7 sports watching destination with 20 big screens with all the action for the premier game day experience. There's no other place you'd want to be to watch all the games with you and your friends. Now open at Hard Rock Hotel and Casino Sacramento at Fire Mountain. For more details, visit casino.hardrock.com/Sacramento.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Chad, what's happening for the Black Friday sales event?
We have the best savings yet on new 2025 Ram 1500 Tradesman Crew Cabs, starting at only $34,995 with up to $12,500 off MSRP, or save thousands with $5,250 off MSRP and 0% financing for 72 months.
And did I hear you got the Hemi back?
Yep, we have 450 new Rams available, including the 5.7-liter Hemi, and we have 40 Hemis in stock. Plus, with our award-winning customer service, you won't find a better combination of selection, service, and savings than at Hoblet Dodge.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$12,500 total net savings on select new 2025 Ram 1500 after $7,250 factory rebates and $5,250 dealer discounts. Rebates include $2,000 select inventory cash, $500 on the job upfit, must show eligible upfit, $34,995 net price after rebates. VIN number 170493. 0% financing for well-qualified buyers on approved credit through Stellantis Financial. Must have 720 plus FICO score. $13.89 per thousand borrowed. See dealer for details.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks. KNCI's Country in the Park is back May 8th and 9th, Cal Expo. Miranda Lambert, Sean Party, Chris Young, Turnpike Troubadour, Scott, and more. Line dancing, live DJs, mechanical bull, huge festival area, food trucks. KNCI's Country in the Park, May 8th and 9th at Cal Expo. Tickets are on sale now at CITP
PowerBusinessFast.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Who has the largest selection of golf merchandise in Northern California? The Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. It's the go-to store for golf bags, apparel, equipment, lessons, club fittings, novelty items, and more. With their low price guarantee, complimentary gift boxes, and gift cards for your golfer, it's the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Add convenient online shopping and effortless after-Christmas return policy, and you'll see why the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop is the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at the Cap City Freeway or online at hagenoaks.com.
Guys, it's time to know your numbers and what they mean. And right now, Revive Men's Health is offering a $400 comprehensive wellness panel for just $99. Free if you start treatment. Offer ends November 30th. Book today at revivemenshealth.com. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
And there was a report out today that he wasn't happy. Nobody should be happy. The Kings are 5-13. Why would you be happy? Kings and Warriors expected to pick up trade talks involving a package with Sabonis and Ellis for Kuminga, Moody, and Hield. No, and no. And did I mention no? That's not what I'm talking about. That's not the move that you make. Like I said, I know that the short-term dopamine side of you, the microwave society side of you, the I want Ruth Chris McDonald speed side of you says that's what I want. You don't want that. You do not want that. You just don't. Not Kuminga. That's not going to do anything for you. That's spinning your wheels. That's keeping yourself exactly where you are. It's the type of moves that the organization has done in the past, and that's not what you do. You're looking for a #1 at all costs, blinders on. If you're going to trade Sabonis to me, you do it for expiring contracts and lots of draft pick capital. That's what you do. Nothing short of that, because your #1 goal with blinders on is a #1 stud. #1, a guy who can be your clear #1 for your organization, face of the franchise, that can lead you not to 10 and 8 seeds, not to a little bit of hope. It's the guy who can lead you to multiple championships and build. If Oklahoma City can do it, why can't the Kings? Give us your thoughts at 339-1140, 800-920-1140. We're also on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Lots of stuff going on in the chat, so hit us up there as well. And do remember, Kings and Suns tonight, right here on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports 1140. Sarah's been waiting. Hi, Sarah. Welcome.
Welcome. Hello. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I'm a longtime Kings season ticket holder. I have a couple things to say. A lot of times, a lot of the radio folks say this is how Kings fans are feeling. I sit in the stands every game. I know how the fans are feeling. And I don't know if you guys do. So I have two things to say. One is we kind of have a little bit what you're mentioning. I call it the shiny penny syndrome. It always looks good somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of fed up with it, to be honest with you. I want to buy jerseys for Christmas. I don't know who's going to be around to buy their jersey, right? And I also want to just chat about, like, Sabonis. I think he needs to move to a power forward. Let's move him in another position. Let's get another big, see what he can do out there. I mean, he's amazing. He's the team leader. The young guys follow him. People respect him. He's a good role model for Sacramento. And the way we're kind of just discarding him, it's pretty embarrassing, actually.
Okay. Don't hang up. Let me ask you a quick question. Since you were a season ticket holder, you were the perfect person to ask. So if you could live in a perfect world, I know that you'd want championships, but we had some people calling up before and they said, yeah, as long as they play hard, we'll be fine. It's like, I just expect more. So as a season ticket holder, as a person who sits in the stands, as a person who is a diehard Sacramento Kings fan, what do you expect? What do you expect when you put out your hard-earned money? What do you expect?
I do expect them to win, but I expect us to get over. I still think we're having we lost Fox feelings. My opinion on that. The Fox feeling. I don't think we haven't gelled yet since we lost Fox. So we're really. And I want to win. I was excited. I've been at every game. We watch them on the TV every night. And the last 2 nights have been exciting. Let's see if we have a healthy Sabonis out there. Let's see what it looks like with him and Keegan out there. Let's get Murray back, out there. I mean, we have some really decent players. And let's just get rid of them all, let them all become stars other places. That's what I feel.
Okay. Thank you very much, Sarah. Very smart. Appreciate it. There you go. That opens up your line at 339-1140 and 800-920-1140. All right. Give me your thoughts on what Sarah had to say. We'll continue the conversation into the 1 o'clock hour. Here's what we're going to do. Stay right there. If you want to listen for some more Kings, we'll do that. We'll bring it back up or reset everything. But in the 1 o'clock hour, here's what we're going to do. You do not want to move. Larry Krueger is going to join us, Sac State's own. He is driving. I spoke to him this morning. Good friend of mine. We worked together with the 49ers for years and years and years when I was at KMBR. He is going to join us. We are former co-hosts. Not only did we do regular shows together, but we did pre, half, and post for the 49ers for years and years and years together. He is literally driving home from the facility, so he'll give us the latest, including my question, which is, settle down on Brock Purdy, for the love of God, man. We're going to get into that conversation coming up next, and what I think is maybe – no, I'm not going to say maybe. What is the most overrated story in sports right now? I'm going to discuss that with him as well, and we'll do it next, only here on Sactown Sports 1140.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year. The Santa Parade, free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Western Health Advantage.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a much-needed win at home versus Carolina 20-9. Christian McCaffrey had 142 yards from scrimmage and a touchdown against his former team. San Francisco improves to 8-4 and are still squarely in the playoff chase. Next up for the 49ers, they're in Cleveland. Catch the game this Sunday beginning at 9 a.m. right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. You'll find exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 50% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-329-2121. That's 800-329-2121.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at fisherinvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Everyone has a past, but what happens if you've made mistakes and made good on that past, but it keeps following you? Are you looking for an attorney to erase past records and restore your rights? Maybe even restore your gun rights? Do you need a reputable criminal defense attorney who knows even good people make bad mistakes? Well, the attorneys at Gonzalez Law Office are here to help. Find Gonzalez Law Office online at saclegaldefense.com or call them at 916-304-9187. We don't settle for less, and neither should you.
Some nights just call for something better, a place above the noise, where the skyline glows and the energy feels effortless. That place is Revival at the Sawyer, Sacramento's rooftop escape. All November long, show your Sactown Sports app and enjoy buy one, get one half off beverages. Whether it's golden hour with friends or late night laughter under the city lights, Revival's the place to see and the place to be seen. Revival at the Sawyer, the view, the vibe, the moment. Reserve your table at revivalsacramento.com. Offer valid once per visit per person.
Black Friday savings start now. Get your best deal through the end of the month at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
With Black Friday savings during Happy Honda Days, own or lease your new Honda Accord or Civic today. Your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too. Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda. Visit us at folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop. KHD, KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is Sactown Sports, 1140.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Sactown Sports.
Our final hour here. John Lund with you, formerly at KMBR 95.7 in the Bay Area. Very thrilled to be with you today, the day before Thanksgiving. Tons of Kings talk today. Great feedback. Much appreciated. 1 o'clock hour is phenomenal. You've got to rip off the knob and not go anywhere. The great Larry Krueger is going to join us in a second. Sac State's own. The Krug Show on YouTube. Longtime KNBR-er and contributes to all of the 49ers coverage, and he will be joining us driving back from Santa Clara. So fresh news, everybody. And you're like, oh, I can't miss this. Of course you can't. He's the Krug, and he's going to join us in just a second. We'll talk Niners. We'll finish up some Niners talk after that. We've still got to do all the questions about Thanksgiving. I've got every answer to every Thanksgiving question. We'll do that in the 1 o'clock hour. I believe we're going to talk to Whitey Gleason and Allen Stiles. By the way, this is normally Allen's slot. He is going to join Whitey at 2 o'clock, so you're in for a massive treat. So there's no reason to go anywhere all day long, and then the Kings play the Suns. So honestly, just rip it off. I don't care where it is, how you got to do it. You don't have to go anywhere. That's 1 o'clock. That's the next show, and that's the Suns and Kings tonight. So keep it right here at Sactown Sports 1140. Jay Woods is with me as well, and now our good friend Larry Krueger joined us on Sactown Sports. Krug, what's going on?
Johnny, how are you? It's great to hear your voice. How's things, man? Happy Thanksgiving to all the Lunds and all the good sports listeners in the Sacramento Valley. I'm a Sac State guy. My brother's a judge up there. I'll be up in the Thomas on Turkey Day for the festivities. So I'm fired up. How you doing, man?
So you're heading this way for Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Very nice.
We'll be there for Thanksgiving.
See, by the way, you're doing it right. I'm going to talk more about this a little bit later, but we'll do this coming up next. The rules of Thanksgiving. Rule number 1 is go to somebody else's house. because then you miss out on the turkey. They'll usually give you a bag of turkey so you can make a few sandwiches, but you don't have to clean up the mess. You can leave. Like my family, they were all a bunch of drunks, and they would get to my house at like maybe noon. We'd eat at about 4. They'd stay till like midnight just drinking. And it was like, get out of my house. So you've already taken care of that. You're a brilliant man.
Yeah. You have to, the road trip's good. And then, but I'm a turkey fan. I'm like one of the only turkey fans in my family. So I already went to Lenardi's and got myself like I got the double turkey breast that I got in the freezer right now. So because I'm doing Thanksgiving at my bro's place, but then I'm going to want some turkey leftovers. And if he doesn't give me enough, I want to be able to have turkey myself. So we will be doing turkey either Saturday or Sunday after Thanksgiving.
Okay, we got to get to Niners because people are like, you brought on Kruger to do Niners. What are you guys doing? 30 more seconds. Yes or no? Because I learned this when actually my first wife was pregnant with my son, George, who you know, and we were in Pittsburgh in a 1-bedroom apartment. It's freezing and snowing and no one wanted to come see us. And so I said, well, I've got to cook a turkey. And it was the easiest thing ever. And I told my mom, I called her and I go, this is so easy. You throw it in an oven, that thing pops out, you pull it out. Like, why have you for all these years had this thing where you say making turkeys is so hard? It's not even really hard. Is it? I don't think it is.
No, it's not hard. It's definitely not hard. You just have to have you just gotta, you got to do it right. You got to do it right. You don't want to, not a word.
You can't let it dry out, but it's not hard.
Yeah. But here's the key is put a little tinfoil on the breast.
That's it. And keep basting it throughout the whole process and everything. Just don't let it dry out. That's it.
Exactly.
All right. You're heading back from 49ers HQ, so I want to get the latest from the 49ers. But the big story around this week is Brock throwing the 3 picks, and you were front row asking all the first questions in the press conferences. You always are, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong in this. Maybe you disagree with this. I'm not panicked over Brock Purdy. I think there's a lot of other issues on this team. I think Robert Saleh is just doing an amazing job. There's a lot of different things we can talk about. I'm not worried about Brock Purdy. Am I wrong? Should I be worried about Brock Purdy?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I don't think you should be worried. It's just a matter of, it's not a static situation. It's a dynamic situation. So like his turf toe is not just going to stay the same. It's most likely going to get worse. So I think it's one of those things you just got to monitor it week to week. But Brock Purdy doesn't have the exact arm strength that maybe he had prior. But you know what? He's got everything else. He's still super competitive. He's still very accurate. He still knows the offense. He's still a pretty good football player. So I would say the concerns about Brock Purdy would be over. I wouldn't be that concerned.
And I'm not trying to make excuses for the guy, man. You and I are both truth tellers. I'm not making an excuse for the guy. The first 2 interceptions were pretty much the same. They were behind late. And they could have been up a little bit more. Let the receivers go make a play. They were short. The Carolina, give those guys credit in J.C. Horn and Michael Jackson making plays. The third one was a play that was an amazing play by Horn, in which I think was a bad play design because Kyle didn't have anybody for him to cover. So he goes all the way from the other corner spot to basically play safety and then come all the way over from there and make an interception. Sometimes the other team makes a really good play. Brock didn't see him because Brock wasn't supposed to see him, because when you're looking at plays, you're trying to decipher what the other team normally does defensively. J.C. Horn came all the way over to the other side of the field to pick that ball off. So it stinks that he made interceptions, but none of the 3 choices were bad choices. That's when I would start getting concerned. If your quarterback is continually making bad choices, that's one thing, but 2 bad throws and a great play by a defensive back. That's how I saw those plays.
Well, I mean, and I'll counter it. I'll come back and say it wasn't just those 3 throws. I mean, he could have had 5 or 6 interceptions in this game, really, if the Panthers made a few more plays. And those penalties could have hurt worse if the Panthers had turned them into more points. But I generally agree with you, which is, there's 2 kinds of picks. There's the picks of where you're really forcing it, you're not seeing the field. I thought there was maybe 1 like that, and then there's, to me, it was just like, you needed to put a little bit more on the ball. And it's not that he can't put more on the ball, it's just that he didn't put more on the ball. Yeah. So that's more of an error in judgment. It's people acting like, oh, he threw it as hard as he possibly could and he doesn't have the arm strength. that's not what I mean. His mechanics are a little bogging down on him because he doesn't put pressure on that right foot like he should, and that is definitely an issue. So there are some throws that he's using mostly arm when in the past he's really stepped into it. So I think there is some diminished arm strength if you really, fleshed it out. But as far as those interceptions were concerned, he just threw the wrong kind of pass. He threw, too much air under it. He just needs and like on the one where he was running and then he threw on the run and he threw it right to the defender. He talked about that today and he said, I had options there. I probably should have just stopped, kind of came to a jump stop, planted my feet and delivered a strike. But instead I kind of got in between. I threw it kind of like as I was moving and I sailed it. So, Brock Purdy, look at it this way. When the Niners lost to the Eagles in the NFC Championship game and Brock Purdy had that elbow ripped out, at that point in time, he couldn't throw, but you're still looking at him going, man, the guy really knows how to play. Maybe he could hand it off. He's diminished right now, but not to the level he was obviously in that game. So there are certain throws he's going to have to stay away from, but I still think that Brock Purdy, even if he has to be kind of managed and kind of, certain throws he can't make, I still think he's your best option to win games. Now, if it gets appreciably worse in the coming weeks, we could audible to Mac Jones, a Mac Jones kind of a thought. But I think right now, even with what I saw the other night, I'd say Brock Purdy's your best chance to win.
The great, and I do mean great, Larry Krueger. Make sure that you're watching him on YouTube like everybody else. Are you the only one not watching Krug on YouTube? You don't want that to happen to you because he's got amazing 49ers insight for years and years and years covering the team. All you got to do is go to the Krug Show on YouTube. And, of course, you can listen down in the Bay Area on KNBR. Krug does an amazing job, and he and I used to do 49ers pre- and post-game together. We've been friends. My son is almost 22, and you coached him in a Little League when he was like 7 or 6 or something like that. I don't even remember, but it's been a long time. So we've been friends for a long time. He was very young. And so anyway, we've known each other for a long time. We even lived like across from each other. Let me ask you, I'm going to ask you a really broad question, but I'm amazed, and people ask me this question too, like how is Saleh doing this without Bosa, without Warner, down to a third string linebacker and Curtis Robinson? I was scared as hell of the defensive backs at the beginning of the season, but they don't even throw it down or Lenore anymore. The safeties, Jair Brown in his best game and maybe ever on Monday night. Saleh has got to get a head coaching job after this. I hope he doesn't leave, but the job he is doing with this defense that's as depleted as it is, like you said, Carolina had 3 first-half turnovers. They got 3 points off of it, and 2 of them were in 49ers territory. So I'll ask you again, how is Saleh doing this?
Yeah, no, it's an amazing thing. I mean, I was looking at the numbers before I came into the facility today. The 49ers, John, have allowed fewer points per game than the Browns. The 49ers have given up 21.8 a game. That's 11th best in the NFL. The Browns have given up 22.2 points per game, which is 13th. The Browns have Myles Garrett, and they're second in the league in sacks. The 49ers are 32nd, dead last in sacks. They are 25th in interceptions. They're 26th in turnover differential. They're 26th in pass defense, and yet they've given up 21.8 points a game. I mean, it really is an amazing thing. How's he doing it? Well, I mean, they're well coached. Like Johnny Holland is a phenomenal linebacker coach. So like the guys that have come off the bench for Fred Warner, Tatum Bethune, Curtis Robinson, these guys are playing well. So even though they've been banged up at linebacker, they haven't necessarily felt the brunt of it too severely, despite the fact that Warner's spectacular. They've had more busted plays since Warner has gone out, and they're really young on the back end. But I think, Saleh is injecting these guys with a lot of confidence. They're starting to, he shows a lot of passion. They show a lot of passion. And he's got some good talent. I mean, I'll give the Niners credit. They do have, it's young talent on the defense, but it's good talent. C.J. West is a good player. Alfred Collins is a good player. And Upton Stout and Jair Brown, Malik Mustafa, these are good young football players. So credit their scouting department, but also credit Saleh. he's 2 weeks ago against Stafford, Johnny, he blitzed 55%. It was the highest Niner blitz rate in 9 years. He followed that up by blitzing Brissett 12% of the time. So he can do it a lot of different ways. And I don't want to say it's smoke and mirrors, but man, he's doing a phenomenal job making it all work together.
By the way, if you can't get to the quarterback, you're just fried. And I may or may not have been drinking when I heard this stat, and I don't trust Joe Buck without asking you. So I think he said that with the sack in the fourth quarter on that one from Cleve Farrell, that was the first sack they had in 86 dropbacks. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, how do you do? That's what I'm saying is like, okay, so the amount of pressure that you're putting on your defensive backs or your back, and you got to bring blitzes and you got like all these different things. Yeah, like you said, Cleveland, which we'll get into in a minute. Last week against the Raiders had 10 sacks and Myles Garrett had 3, and then Shedeur Sanders took all the credit. But anyway, I digress. We'll get to that in a second.
Right.
Like it's amazing. Like when you can get that kind of pressure, Seattle can get pressure with 4. The Rams can get pressure with 4. I'm just talking about the teams in the division. And all of a sudden you're wait a minute, it was the first sack in 86 dropbacks. I don't know how you can play defense like that because we've all been taught you better get to the quarterback or you're dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I will say this, even though their sack totals are putrid, their pressure totals are actually pretty good. So they are in and around the quarterback. So the quarterback at times is sort of feeling some pressure, but they're not getting home. And they've done it, as I said, a lot of different ways. They've sent 5, they've sent 6, and then I think they realized in that Ram game that if you blitz 50% of the time, guys start coming apart. I mean, the whole thing started coming, guys were pointing the finger at one another. It's young players against Stafford. But I mean, they got carved up, and towards the end of that game, I think the young guys were starting to point the finger at each other, losing their composure a little bit. And I think the next week against Brissett, he's like, look, we're gonna play this a little bit more straight up. We're gonna blitz from time to time, but we're gonna try to get a little bit more simple. You got to remember this: the Niners also lead the NFL, I believe, in the last 2 months in busted coverages. So they've had a lot of coverage busts. So I think his desire is to simplify and to try to get the young players to play fast and make fewer mistakes because he's going to simplify.
The great Larry Krueger is joining us. Of course, he covers the 49ers. You got to make sure that you're on his YouTube channel or everyone's going to laugh at you. It's absolutely amazing. The Krug Show, you'll listen to him on KMBR, Niners pre and post game as well. He's absolutely great and dialed into the Niners. You're driving as we speak back from Santa Clara. Anything breaking, anything we need to know?
Oh, as far as today?
Anything happening?
I'm still. I was planning on driving home right now, but you know what? I'm still here at the facility. As far as what's breaking today, this is what's breaking today. Is that we talked to Brock, we talked to Robert Saleh, we talked to Kyle Shanahan. Shanahan said nobody's going to have their practice window open this week. Sam Equinu's got a high ankle sprain now, so he's going to be out a few weeks.
Jeez, that defensive line, my God, they're cursed.
God. And then today, Tatum Bethune, Christian McCaffrey's getting a rest day, Eddie Pinheiro, those guys are all out. Luke Gifford is limited, but Robert Beal is back at practice. He's out of the concussion protocol. So that's kind of the latest on the day.
Okay. All right, let's get to the Browns. And it's so weird. They haven't won in Cleveland since 1984. It's not like they're in the division. They play them all the time. But we both remember just a few years ago when, Debo was talking trash to Cleveland before the game, then he gets hurt. And PJ Walker was the quarterback of the Browns, and he beat a really good Niners team. Now it's Shedeur Sanders. And look, I want to root for the kid. I don't want kids to fail. I know Deion Sanders personally. He's a good guy. He's a good dad. I know those kind of things. But I'm watching that game, and I'm thinking to myself, hey, you should be confident in yourself, man. You're at the professional level. You got to believe in yourself. In life, you got to believe in yourself. I get it. But after the game, your defense sacks the Raiders 10 times. I mean, the Raiders are pathetic, but they sack them 10 times. Myles Garrett gets 3 sacks. And after the game, I mean, basically what he did is he threw a swing pass for 66 yards and made one pass on a Raiders blitz that was ridiculous. He made one throw all day long, and the kid acts like he's Joe Montana. Like, what are you doing? Like, this is the most overrated ESPN generated story of the year. And I don't want the guy to fail, but I can't help it. Like, I'm sick of him. I'm sick of him already.
Yeah, it's a very bizarre situation. I mean, it's funny you mentioned Joe Montana because Mel Kiper's comparison in the draft for Shador was Joe Montana.
Oh, God.
And I was like, Jesus, you've got to be kidding me. It's like, Mel, what are you doing? What are you doing? I mean, I'll say this. The kid has some moxie. There is some playmaking ability there for sure. And he has some ability to move in the pocket, though he's not a runner. He's really not a runner.
Right. He's not. He's a scrambler to try to throw the ball, but he is not a runner. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he completed a high percentage at Colorado, but a lot of that stuff was underneath. A lot of that's not, it's kind of like Kyler Murray offense, where you're dumping it off a lot in the flat. He did have an amazing 52-yard pass down the field, which was a flat-out dime in this last game against the Raiders. Yeah. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, he doesn't have to do much, right? He's got a great defense. They're number 2 in the NFL in yards. They got the great Myles Garrett. They've got the real rookie that you got to watch for are the 2 backs. I mean, it's Quinshon Judkins, who's 225 pounds and runs in the 4.4s, and it's Dylan Sampson from Tennessee, who I think last week they threw him a couple passes. Right.
Well, they had a great draft. They got Fannin. They got that linebacker. I mean, they've had a hell of a draft. And look, I don't want to hate on the kid. I really don't. That's not within my personality, really. But it's hard. It's hard to deal with those guys. Before I let you go, Larry Krueger joining us on Sactown Sports 1140. We're talking some Niners. I got the Browns coming up this weekend. I'm looking at their schedule because we've all got friends in Seattle and they're talking trash. And we got friends in LA and they're like, you guys can't hang in this thing, man. Just bow out. It's going to be Seahawks and Rams. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm going, okay, wait a minute. We said this at the beginning of the year. They had the easiest schedule. It's not the easiest now because the Colts and the Bears have had good years, but Cleveland stinks. They should win that game. Tennessee stinks. They should win that game. The Bears, I think, are doing it with smoke and mirrors, like Ben Johnson, but I think they can beat the Bears, and the Colts are starting to come down to earth. And then it comes down to, I think, that Seattle game at home. They beat the Seahawks to start the season, but they had Nick Bosa making that play and all that kind of stuff. But I'm looking at the schedule going, I don't know. I think it might come down to that Seattle game in Santa Clara, because even though they're as banged up as they are, I don't know, they could probably go 4-1, 3-2 down the stretch. What do you see as the big picture for the 49ers the rest of the way?
Well, I mean, they're definitely, as you know, as all teams do, especially this time of year, I mean, they're all banged up and they're just trying to take it week by week. So they're not thinking down the road. But we have the luxury, we can do that. I kind of think the Niners could potentially win out. Now, this game I think is going to be very difficult. It's going to be 30 degrees. There's going to be snow. It's going to be cold conditions. It's going to be a tough defense. Brock, struggles with wet footballs, that kind of thing. It could be icy rain. So, I mean, I could see this being a really, really tough game. And I think the Indianapolis game is going to be tough. But the Niners are doing a pretty good job stopping the run. And if you stop the run against Indianapolis, I think you can, force Daniel Jones to beat you. The other games, I think the Niners are better than the Bears. I think the Bears, I'd be shocked if the Bears win another game. I think the Bears are going to lose out. I mean,
really?
Yeah, go look at the Bears' schedule. The Bears' schedule is brutal. They play Philly. They play Philly Friday night, I think, in Philly, and that's a loss. I mean, they play a bunch of tough games. I think the Bears, who are a good football team under Ben Johnson this year, I think they're going to crash and burn at the end. I think Detroit's going to get in. I think the Niners are going to get in. I think Chicago's going to flame out down the stretch.
I agree with you, because the Lions right now are in the 8th seed. The Lions are going to make the playoffs. They remind me of the Chiefs. Like, the Lions, if they get in, are going to scare you. The Chiefs, if they get in, are going to scare you. But I'm sitting there going, they're not in yet. It's weird. All right, we started with turkey talk before we got deep into the 49ers. I've been holding this question to the end, and then I got to let you go because I know you got to go, which is, okay, you love turkey. You're a turkey guy. I don't know if you can answer this question. Like, I eat pizza 1,000 times a year, and hamburgers and steaks and Mexican food and sushi and all these different things. If turkey's so great, why do we only make it once a year?
Well, see, I don't. I mean,
You do it more than once?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll do turkey.
Really?
I'll do turkey at least 10 times a year.
Are you serious? You might be the king of turkey. You do turkey 10 times a year? That's almost once a month. And I'm not a math guy, but that's almost once a month.
Yeah, dude. I'll do turkey. You know, I don't do turkey like I do like you would on Thanksgiving. Right?
So you're not doing turkey and the fixins and that you're Are you putting a turkey in the oven 10 times a year?
I'm not doing a whole turkey. I'm not doing a whole turkey in other parts of the year. But like, I'll go to a butcher shop and I'll get like a turkey breast on the bone, or sometimes they'll put it in like a netting.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And then you just bake it in the oven and slice it. I'll make some mashed potatoes, a little turkey gravy. Sometimes, that's so I like turkey. But my kids don't really dig it that much. And then, you know what my kids like if I do turkey, I'll also order I'll get a couple extra drumsticks because they like the dark meat drumsticks. But the turkey meat's too dry for them. They think they don't like the white meat turkey. So I think it's really good. But they like the drumsticks. They go with the drumsticks. So I'll sometimes go down there. I'll get like a little turkey in the net, maybe 3-4 pounds, and then buy like 3 or 4 drumsticks. But I'm excited today, Johnny, because I got me. I got 4 kids. So I got my daughter just flew in from Atlanta.
Oh, how cool
She's going to school in Atlanta at Emory for nurse practitioner's license. So she's home, and she just got engaged. So we're really excited about that. And then my Kev,
you like the guy she's going to marry or not? You like the guy?
Really like him. Yeah, I really like him. Right. Good guy. He used to be a neighbor of Types in Blackhawk. The kid went to De La Salle. He's going to he graduated Gonzaga Law. He graduated Purdue. So yeah, she's she's got a better future than you or I. I mean, I'm not. She should worry about us. I'm not worried about her. Kev, who runs the Krug show, he's getting ready to go to Hawaii tomorrow or Friday or Saturday with his buddies for like a week. He's like partying on all that YouTube money.
How old is he? Like 22, 23? He's paying his own way to Hawaii? Damn, you're paying him too much.
No, tech sales. I mean, he's making all that YouTube money. He's doing everything. So, and not to mention, he's the TikTok king now. He's made us like the TikTok king. So then, and then Ben is check that out. It's exploding. And then Ben's, going to DVC. So he's in the house, and I got my teenagers in the house. So we're going to have the entire family together on Thanksgiving. We haven't been together for a while. So I'm really fired up about that, dude.
You're the best, man. Krug, thanks. Krug Show on YouTube. He's on KNBR. You hear him on 49ers pre and post game, and he is Sac State's own, the great Larry Krueger. Thanks, Krug. We'll talk to you soon, man.
See you, Johnny. Have a great one, man.
You're the best. It's Sactown Sports 1140. Larry Krueger talks some Niners. If you want to hit us up on that, we can do that as well. Remember, we're on X at Sactown 1140. We're on the web at sactownsports.com. You can hit us up too in the YouTube channel, Sactown Sports 1140. If you'd like to feel better about the way that you look, all you got to do, I'm on the YouTube channel right now, and you will look like a Greek god next to me. So check us out on the YouTube channel as well. Coming up next, we've been talking about it. All the turkey talk that you need. Every question answered about Turkey Day, including one thing that is very controversial. It's next, only here on Sactown Sports 1140.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
This 49ers Red Zone Report is being brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Purdy with some time throws the slant to Jennings. Jennings breaks the contact at the 5 and walks into the end zone. Another blitz coming. Young looking over the middle, throws, and it's picked off by Brown at the 23-yard line. The second of the game for Jair. The 49ers will defeat the Carolina Panthers here tonight, 20-9, the final score.
Ready, set, win big. When the 49ers win, you score. With 49% off any large pizza, only at Mountain Mike's Pizza. Celebrate every game day with your favorites from our legendary crispy, curly pepperoni, bold sauced up wings, garlic butter drenched sides, and gooey sweet desserts, all hot, fresh, and built for a Niners victory. Download the Mountain Mike's app, join Mountain Rewards, and turn every Niners win into a pizza party. Let's go Niners. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza, the way it ought to be.
Kohl's Black Friday deals are here. Grab your coffee and put on your sneakers because it's go time. Through Saturday, save up to 50% on everything from toys to beauty faves, winter styles, and more. Plus, earn $15 Kohl's Cash for every $50 spent. Yep, that's extra Kohl's Cash. So run, don't walk. Just hold on tight to that coffee. Select styles, some exclusions apply. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Offers end November 29th. See store or kohls.com for details.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Hey, everybody, we're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. What's going on for the Black Friday sales event, Chad?
Save big on the best-looking Jeep Grand Cherokee on the market. When you save up to $10,000 off MSRP on the brand-new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Altitude X. This Grand Cherokee has all the bells and whistles you could ever want and more. People won't be keeping up with the Joneses. They'll be keeping up with you.
It's true. This has got to be the best-looking Jeep I've seen.
I didn't think Jeeps could look any better, but they did it. But Hoblet is more than just Jeep. Whatever you're looking for, you can find it at the Hoblet Certified Pre-Owned Supercenter. We have over 220 vehicles waiting for you at HobletDodge.com.
Search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
10,000 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Grand Cherokees after 5,000 factory rebates and 5,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 2,000 SFS bonus cash, must finance through Stellantis. 500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3 of this net savings. Sample VIN 746799. See dealer for details.
This holiday season, create a fun and joy-filled memory for you and your loved ones. Come light the world and help others in need through the Giving Machine, November 17th through December 8th at the Galleria Mall in Roseville, and in Modesto at Valley Fair Mall, November 21st through December 12th. Choose local charities in your community or global charities worldwide. Feel the joy of Christmas. Go to GivingMachineGreaterSacramentoModesto.org.
Guys, want long-term health you can count on? It starts with knowing your numbers. Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento is offering a comprehensive wellness panel, a $400 value for just $99. It checks your testosterone, blood sugar, cholesterol, kidney, liver, thyroid, and heart health. Take control of your health today and stay strong for the long haul. Offer ends November 30th. Call 916-619-3000. That's 916-619-3000. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com today. Must medically qualify. Terms apply. Contact us for full offer details.
Right now at Maida Subaru, get 2 season passes to Sierra at Tahoe with purchase or lease of any new Maida Subaru. Plus, great Maida Subaru savings on every new Subaru. Learn more at MaidaSubaru.com.
Ends 1/2/26.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Thrilled to be hanging out on Sactown Sports 1140 for Allen Stiles. And by the way, if you're like, where's Allen Stiles? Allen Stiles at the top of the hour with Whitey Gleason. And I've known Whitey for quite a few years. So 145, we're going to talk to Whitey Gleason. If you don't know, my name is John Lund, by the way. I was at KNBR for years and years and years in the Bay Area doing middays with Greg Papa, both on 95.7 The Game and KNBR. And Whitey and I helped start 95.7 The Game in the Bay Area. If you've never heard of it, that's fine. But radio station started back in, 2011? August of 2011, and Whitey did the morning show and I did the midday show, so we've been friends for a long time. Whitey is awesome, and he's going to join us in about 10 minutes, and then he and Alan are going to take you through your afternoon. It will be a treat for you as you're running around getting last minute things for Thanksgiving. Speaking of, by the way, really enjoyed the conversation about the Kings today. A lot of good feedback. Thank you very much for that. Speaking of Kings Suns tonight, right here on the home of the Kings, Sactown Sports 1140. So I've been wanting to get to this because there's a number of different things. First of all, I asked Krug. He said I just don't believe this. He said that he eats turkey like 10 times a year. I eat pizza, burgers. I mean, I would say I'm fairly healthy, but you're going to eat those things, whatever, sushi, Mexican food, whatever the case may be. I could eat tacos probably every single day, but I don't. But generally speaking, I eat turkey once a year. I guess if you include a turkey sandwich, occasionally I'll have a turkey sandwich on occasion. Not that often. If I was to say, I don't even like to put a turkey in. I told you this earlier on in the show. So one of my key rules about Thanksgiving is I don't want to host anymore. But my wife at some point is going to make us host, but not this year. By the way, house to myself this weekend. Unbelievable. I'd like to talk about that. I don't know if we have enough time. But they went and they're traveling to go see family. And I was like, oh, man, it's like Sactown Sports saved me. I'm like, I got to do a radio show. And I got to do this and I got to do that. And probably made some of those things up. But she's not listening to the show, so I can say those things. So anyway, they're gone. I'm going somewhere and we're not even having turkey. My friend refuses to do turkey. We're doing prime rib. And if we each had our druthers, I don't know, it's a tradition, so you got to do turkey. I think anyone would want prime rib over turkey, but I could be 100% wrong. But rule number one is what you do is you go somewhere else and then you grab hopefully you get like a sandwich bag, Glad bag, one of those zipper bags or whatever for about good enough for like 2 or 3 sandwiches. And then you're good. I mean, my dad used to love turkey and he'd make an extra one and he'd make turkey soup and turkey enchiladas and turkey this and turkey that. It was like, enough. Like we would have a week of turkey after turkey. And he would make 2 turkeys because he'd have a bag of turkey meat and then he'd make turkey soup. I'm not kidding. Then we'd have turkey enchiladas at night. I mean, it was like, okay, don't put turkey on that pizza. No. And so it was like, so maybe that's what it is we had Thanksgiving and then we followed it with, I'm not kidding you, like a week of turkey. Like however you could prepare turkey tetrazzini. Like I don't even know what that is, but we did it with pasta or something. And it was like, okay, it's really not that good. So as an adult with my choice, I'm not even going to have it once a year. So that's fine. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I just asked Kirk the question, if it's so good, why do people only have it once a year? Nobody has given me a satisfactory answer to that question ever. The other thing is I'll ask you this, and you can either hypothetically or you can hit me up. Is your family more dysfunctional than mine? Has your family ever forgot you at the airport because they drank too many Bloody Marys? Mine has. About 3:30, my dad called me and he goes, are you coming this year? Are you eating with us? What's your deal? And I go, and I was living at the time halfway across the country. And I arrived and I was at the airport for an hour and I called. My family's got music going and they're drinking and they're watching football. They're not looking at their phones. My dad finally calls me and he goes, where are you at? I'm like, I've been at the airport for an hour. And he's like, well, I'll just take a cab or something. And then I remember walking out of the cab, just walking right in the place. And the cabbie's looking at me like, hey, you got to pay me. And I'm like, dude, I'm not paying you. Like somebody in that, go find it in that dysfunctional drunk family of mine. So there's that. And then I'll take this one and I'll die on this hill. It's not hard to make Thanksgiving dinner. Is it time consuming? Yes, it is time consuming. Is it difficult? No, it's not. You put the turkey in, it comes with a bag. You put one of those cooking bags over, you seal it. Every once in a while, you go back in, you take the drippings of the turkey and you make sure that the damn thing doesn't dry out. And then there's this thing in it that goes punk and it pops out and it's idiot proof. So it's not difficult. It's time consuming. As far as mashed potatoes, I don't know why people get so worked up over mashed potatoes. You boil potatoes. You obviously take the skins off. You boil the potatoes. They're incredibly soft. You mash them up with a big old fork as best you can. Then a little bit at a time, you put in milk, butter, salt, pepper, and you take one of those big mixers and you just mix the thing around until there's no more lumps in it. You got that. And then gravy is really simple because that's the drippings of the pan. You take that at the bottom of it. You throw some flour in. You mix it around. You put some seasonings in it. If it's no good or not working, then you always got to have a backup jar of turkey gravy. Like, what's the big deal? It's not hard. And then in our family, unfortunately, they would farm out the sides, which you hated. Because if I made it, it's fine. I don't know what Aunt Edna's recipe was. It was always sweet potatoes, and they always put damn marshmallows on it. I don't want marshmallows on them. Don't bring a green bean casserole. Like, why? Again, something that we have once a year. Do you have green bean casserole more than once a year? No, you don't. Do you eat those French fried onions that go on top of the green beans with the mushroom soup? I don't know. Whoever came up with that should be banned.
Man, it sounds like you got it down. I'm surprised you don't have Thanksgiving and turkey more often.
Do you like the green bean casserole, or do you just like?
You know, I tried it one year. It was okay. We just kind of do a veggie medley now. We just bake a veggie medley now.
I like that. What was the other one? This is a controversial take, and everyone will get really mad. I do like apple pie, but on Thanksgiving it's got to be pumpkin pie with whipped cream, not ice cream. And if you're going to do apple pie, it's fine. I'm just saying you got to do it a la mode, but that's what I do. And you have to take a break. You don't have to. You can do whatever you want. You do you. But you have to take a break between eating and dessert. Like sometimes you'll go to somebody's house and they'll force a dessert right down your throat. It's like, honestly,
you need to wait an hour or two. You need to wait a couple hours.
You absolutely do.
So my wife does the pumpkin pie. I like pecan pie. How are you with pecan pie?
Love pecan pie. I'll say this, if somebody will bring a pecan pie, I'm not going to say no to that. And that's the whole reason why, is because anybody, as you get older, you're like, well, I got to watch myself. Not on Thanksgiving, you don't. So if you take that hour break, like you said, then they make a little coffee. And if you're going like apple, pumpkin, pecan, I would actually, and people won't agree with this, I would go pumpkin, pecan, apple. I do like apple pie. It's really, really good. But I don't know what it is about Thanksgiving. You got to have pumpkin pie. A lot of people hate it. Or sweet potato pie is good too.
Agreed.
But you got to have something like that. And a lot of people are like, no, can't do it. Once a year, I don't do pumpkin pie other than Thanksgiving. But man, on that day, for some reason, why does it taste good? It's like cold beer at a baseball game. Tastes better. I don't know why pumpkin pie tastes good on Thanksgiving and no other time, but it's
with a little Cool Whip, right?
I don't know. Oh yeah, put a like huge dollop of that. What else do I have? How would you? Let me ask you this, because I know we're gonna have Whitey on, and I'm gonna ask him this. How would you power rank the Thanksgiving food? Like, would you go turkey first? Is it basically turkey, mashed potatoes, gravy, and then everything else?
Pretty much, yeah. I'm also a stuffing guy. A lot of people aren't stuffing guys anymore. I like stuffing too. I'd probably put stuffing probably third or fourth.
That's Jay, everybody. Let me ask you this, though. And when it comes to stuffing, see, this is what my mom would do. She would complain the whole time about cooking all day. I told that story, and she'd drink Southern Comfort Old Fashions, and she'd be bombed by the time that dinner came, and that's another part of my dysfunctional family. But she would make the stovetop stuffing, and I'm like, no, you got to make it in the bird, because that's how it tastes really good.
Oh,
but
yeah.
She would make
this year we got cornbread stuffing.
Oh, that's so good.
Yes, with the gravy. OMG.
So good. Yeah, that is really good. Now, do you host? You go somewhere? What do you do?
I usually cook. I usually cook down there the whole meal. Really? Like I dole out some of the chores now. Like some of the, my wife will do mac and cheese, but I used to do everything myself.
So literally everything. What time would you wake up? At like 5 a.m. to do that?
Well, I'll wake up at 6 to throw the turkey in the oven, and then by the time the turkey's done, that's when I'll make everything else. I try to get everything done by like 2 or 3.
So tomorrow, and then we'll talk to Whitey tomorrow, with the Cowboys and the Chiefs being the best game in the middle of the day. And by the way, I worked in Detroit and Dallas. So how do you do that? When do you eat? What time do you eat tomorrow?
I try to eat Thanksgiving for lunch and dinner. I try. The kids usually don't want to do that, but we try to do it early. 12 ideal, but usually around 1, 2, 3, and then try to have it again for dinner.
Wow, I've never heard of that. We usually eat about 3:30. That's a really good move right there. So you do noon, you watch the game, you chill out a little bit, then you hit it again.
Yeah, try to eat as much of it as we can, so it's not as many leftovers.
Oh man! By the way, I didn't even mention mac and cheese. You have a legit mac and cheese recipe?
Yeah, we do mac and cheese with Velveeta, and we'll do sliced cheese on top of that, shredded cheese on top of that.
Boy, you know what? People are just gonna rip for Velveeta. Velveeta in mac and cheese is good. You got to put other cheeses in there, but I'm telling you, people rip on Velveeta because it's like fish food. It's good. All right, fine. We gotta go. Sorry, we got into turkey talk, and it was like we were gonna go till 2:00. All right, Whitey's going to join us coming up next. We'll ask his Thanksgiving to-dos. We'll do that coming up next in the top of the hour. Allen Stiles and Whitey Gleason at 2, only here on Sactown Sports 1140.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Call Maverick Electrical to claim your free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check with a donation. This month, donate 5 canned foods to Maverick Electric's Holiday Food Drive and get a free furnace tune-up or electrical safety check. They'll collect your cans at the appointment and make sure your heat stays comfy and your lights stay steady, so the only thing whistling is the kettle, not your ductwork. Visit callamaverick.com to schedule your free tune-up today. What would a Maverick do? Because you're a Maverick too. Limited appointments, some restrictions apply. Give to get with no gimmicks.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
My ride smells just right, just right, just right, just right.
Y'all gotta try that Febreze car.
Just right, just right, just right. Yeah. La 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 la. With up to 40 days of consistent scent, all over Febreze car clips right on your vent. You know my car's my happy place. Keep that smile on my face. When it smells just right, just right, just right. Yeah. Breathe happy Febreze. La 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 la.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-646-5454. That's 800-646-5454.
Carmichael Dave here for American Energy Heat and Air. Right now, breaking news, they're upgrading their offering to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience to the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You hear me talk about them as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get second opinions on any HVAC service or replacement, and now you can get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. They'll come out to your house for free, and they'll give you a second opinion and almost certainly save you money. Oh, but wait, there's more. With winter coming up, how about a free furnace special? With full system installation, you're getting a free furnace, not a discounted furnace, a free furnace, and up to $4,000 in rebates while that funding lasts. So get there right now, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money, because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team, Sactown Sports.
Kings and Suns tonight on Sactown Sports 1140. But before then, if you missed Allen Stiles, you'll hear from him in a second. You'll see him if you're on the YouTube channel at Sactown Sports 1140. And my good friend, Whitey Gleason, who, for those who don't know, we started together in August of 2011 at 95.7 The Game, a Bay Area sports radio station that you may or may not be familiar with, but we went to a Super Bowl together in Indianapolis, which was lovely.
That's right.
Good to see you, my friend. I mean, we've talked and we've texted and everything like that, but man, I don't think I've been on the air with you. No. I don't even know when was the last time, because you did mornings, I did midday, so we would do these things all the time, you and I, years ago.
Yeah. I got to say, John, first of all, thanks for helping us out today. It's great to hear you. But we worked together through a lot of things. I remember when the A's won the 2012 AL West, we were the flagship. Yes. Stunning. The Giants that year, they lose the first 2 games of the division series at home, come back, win that series. Hugh Jackson, hired by the Raiders, fired by the Raiders. Oh, yeah. So we went through some stunning stuff, but I've never heard you as surprised by anything as you were today when Larry Krueger said, I eat turkey 10 times a year. And you were like,
he's so full of it. He is so full of it. Like that's one of the biggest lies I've ever, like, who, honestly, and I'm not anti-turkey, but he forced me to go that way. But it's like, I eat all these things all year long, as we all do. I eat turkey once a year. And this year we're having prime rib, so I'm not even eating. Like, if it was so, nobody's ever answered this question. If it was so good, why is it only once a year?
It's a good question. Do you think that was a food flex? He was like, I eat turkey 10 times a year.
He's like, I go to the butcher. Nobody goes to the butcher anymore.
No.
He's like, I go to the butcher and get turkey. No, you don't. He lives in Walnut Creek. There is no butcher. Like, what are you talking about? Look, I didn't call him out on it, but now that he's gone, I got muscles now.
You have
like,
to.
Come on.
Yeah.
How many times do you eat turkey a year? Once, right?
Well, Christmas, about twice, yeah. Usually we have it again at
ham,
Christmas.
You ham, or what, you do turkey on Christmas too?
Yeah, I think we typically do. Yeah. It's not up to me. I have no say in it whatsoever, but if that's what they're serving, I'm eating. Yeah.
Do you host Thanksgiving?
We haven't in a while. We have a lot of family all over the place. So be in the Bay Area tomorrow. You mentioned, real quick, if I may, the Super Bowl. And when I found out I was going to be on with you, I didn't know you were going to be on until a couple of days ago. But I was thinking, John Lund. Yeah. Okay. I'm not surprised. I was thinking John Lund, and one of the memories that came to mind was you and I are in Indianapolis the Friday before the Super Bowl, which was Giants Patriots. And we just had a week of shows and went well, and we're at a new station. And remember, we're walking around town that night, and every so often we'd run into an inebriated Chrissy Teigen. Do you remember that?
Oh my God, that's right. She hung out at TGI Fridays.
Yes,
and
by herself.
I don't want to make fun here, but the great late Michael Urban was like, I think I got a shot here. And I'm like, at the time, John Legend, they weren't married, but they were like engaged. And I'm like, bro, she's not, like, she's engaged to John Legend. He's like, I think I got a shot. He would tell me that at the TGIFs that he had a shot. I'm like, no.
And I think Sports Illustrated paid her to be there on Radio Row to promote, this swimsuit issue or something. And she's just wandering around on a Friday night, and every so often, hey, Chrissy, how are you? Hey, guys, what's going on?
Okay, one more, because we could do this all day, and I know I got to go, and I don't want to anger people because, you got to stay on the clock and everything like that. But the other thing about you and I is the late, great, God, I can't believe it, Dick Callahan, right? The voice of the A's,
definitely.
The voice of God.
Yes.
They allowed us at the radio station, we were carrying the A's, and they allowed us to each throw a first pitch. So, hey, Brandon Tierney, he's in New York. He challenges me to throw a first pitch like Chad Bradford. I try to throw it sidearm. It sprays out of my hand and into the Dodgers dugout. They're playing the Dodgers. It sprays the dugout.
It was so bad, John. I thought you tanked it. I thought you tanked it on purpose. I really did.
Well, he bet me $100 I wouldn't do it. So, of course, we're in radio. I got to get $100. But I remembered walking off the mound because you had thrown a pitch before me, and I thought that was the worst pitch since maybe 50 Cent. And Dick Callahan says, At least it was better than Whitey. So I got that going for me.
Yes, you know why?
Is nice.
Because I threw a strike, but I was in front of the mound. And so that's why it's better than Whitey. Yeah, I'm glad. I was going to bring that up too.
At least it was better than Whitey. I'm like, okay, I got that going for me.
Oh, well, I hope you have a great day.
You didn't throw from the rubber?
I threw from in front. My buddy Mark Kreidler said, you don't have to throw from on the mound. And then after I did throw from in front, he was like, yeah, you probably should have been on the mound. You're on your own now.
Thanks, right? And you're the best. I can do this all day.
Yes.
I apologize. They're playing me off. The music is happening. They're giving me the cutoff sign. So, hey, man, it's great to see you.
Yes.
And you look and sound great, man. I was watching you yesterday, and I'm excited to watch you again today, too. And
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's great. Awesome. Been great listening to you. We got to catch up and have a great holiday.
Yeah. You too. That is the great, and I do mean great, Whitey Gleason. He is with Allen Stiles coming up next. It has been my pleasure to hang out on Sactown Sports 1140. Thank you so much for having me today. I may or may not be back. I have no idea, but I do know this. Next, Allen Stiles, Whitey Gleason tonight, Sacramento Kings and Phoenix Suns, only here on Sactown Sports 1140.
A Sacramento tradition continues this year.
Hey, thanks, brother. Great job today, Jay.
Free for all to enjoy, circling Capitol Park beginning at 10 a.m. December 13th, the joy of the holiday season. Santa Claus is coming to Sacramento with the 41st Santa Parade. Join Sactown Sports 1140 December 13th beginning at 10 a.m.
Brought to you in part by Elk Grove Chevrolet, Western Health Advantage, and OK Tire and Automotive.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The Sactown Sports 49ers Report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. 49ers get a much-needed win at home versus Carolina 20-9. Christian McCaffrey had a